Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Owner Huddle. This is a special edition. We're going full out today. We're going to do 4 hours of free agency frenzy in the NFL. We've seen teams jumping to other NFC teams, and we see some surprising cuts and some surprising signings. So, Owner the Huddle crew is going to have a large cast of people on Twitter, YouTube, and anywhere you can find your NFL content and Commanders content. We're about to kick it off. This is Owning the Huddle, presented by RedzonedcMedia.
I know it looks like Ceelo is at a hotel, but he disappeared. I don't know exactly where he is. But Breeze, what's good, man?
What's good?
Oh, there you go.
Is he back? Is he still frozen?
He trying to slide around the camera. Welcome back to Owning the Huddle podcast. Brother Deuce is here. He's here to defend his O-line. I'm getting sick and tired of you dudes and this fan base talking about my O-line. We gonna handle this today.
I said tell CJ to drop it.
No, y'all not fixing that, bro. Y'all not fixing that.
Nah, it's over. You already put it out there, DT.
It's a great day for me, but what will be a better day will be when we get this team to a place where we're playing beyond the regular season, where we're competing for a championship.
Welcome back. It's Owning the Huddle podcast.
What's
Like
that?
somebody
What's
said-
that?
Hey, look, man. Like somebody said on the timeline, Adam Peters. I acknowledge you.
Was not expecting that one. Out the gate. Okay. All right.
Breeze, what's good, man?
I'm chilling, man. Y'all see, I got my new backdrop. Working on my new set. You feel me? So
Okay.
Yeah,
Get up nice. He trying to have his shoe up there.
Oh yeah, these customs, by the way. Don't worry about that.
What's up, DT?
What's up, man? What's up? Free agency. I heard some moves happen today.
Yeah, man. Just a little something.
I ain't heard nothing.
Just a little something, man. We definitely gonna talk about it. Look, man, all this week we're gonna have our free agency run, man. We're gonna have a lot of people from different fan bases coming through to chop it up with us. If you all interested that's watching want to come in and chop it up with us, just send us some DMs and Twitter. Try to get you up on it. But what's wrong?
We already got a trade, yeah.
Huh?
Got a trade. Carlton Davis just got traded from the Bucks to the Lions. So C. Henry, you out there, you got a corner.
Yep, there you go. So today we got George coming through. We got Kansas City Ross coming through. Reggie is coming here from the Knucklehead podcast. Kingpin, we're gonna talk some Titans. He gonna come in here today. We got Steven Field from the Command This podcast, and we got King Mac from the Bears, who OG King Mac will come up here to end the show out. And we gonna chop it up, man. Talk some ball. What's up, Outlaw? What's up, Chuck? Left hand up. What's up, Jay? Slim in the building, man. Slim just got finished, and Glenn and Kim hosting the space from 9:30 to 6.
Yeah.
You can do the math yourself. What's up, Kayla? Yes, share the stream, like, and subscribe. Please. Kim. Yep, hey man, Luvu, man. People going crazy about this signing, bro. They going crazy. What's up? Juan? Kim say you look tired, DT. Your students giving you
a okay. Let me say something. I'm not tired from the kids. I'm tired because I had to readjust from this daylight saving time nonsense every single year. I wake up this morning getting ready for work, and it's pitch black. I'm almost thinking to myself, man, I need to stay in the bed, bro. Let me stay in the bed and watch videos. But nah, the kids ain't annoying me. They are annoying me a little bit because now they seen the podcast and stuff like that. They ask all these questions. I'm like, bro, we're learning about school. Y'all are here asking me these questions.
Superstar. Oh man. So Breeze, before George come in, man, so far, are you surprised of what you've seen so far? Is it kind of like what you thought? Where you at with the first few signings?
From us or just in general?
From us.
I'm cool with it. We got a new center, a linebacker, defensive. Like, we're filling positions of need with good players. Like, I'm cool with it. Like, they actually did more today than I expected them to do. So I'm fine with it. You know what I'm saying? We haven't broke the bank yet. I don't know if that's coming, but yeah, we good. And shout out Antonio Gibson, man. His best wishes going to New England, man. Trying to get my free agency tracker up here, man. You know.
Yeah, so I'll go. I think for me, looking at it today, some of the key, first two guys were expected, right? A guy like Dorrance Armstrong and Tyler Biotis both got connections with Dan Quinn from Dallas during his time there. Both of them, they have similar things. Both of them are young on the come up after their first rookie contract, and they have been productive. I think the Frankie Luvu sign we just had a couple minutes ago, I think that's the most intriguing one. The guy that very versatile, hear his story, undrafted rookie out of Washington State, can get after the quarterback. Now, of course, he don't have the Micah Parsons athleticism and things like that. But if you can get after the quarterback the same way like we're trying to do for this defense, have guys get after the quarterback and be dogs, this is a guy that I'm very intrigued by to add with a Jamie Davis, who we want to rush a little bit more, to do some things characteristically with this defense. So overall, I'm liking what I've seen so far, man. High level players, guys on the come up with their contracts, and I'm expecting some more next couple of days. See, this is how we locked in, bro. Everybody on their phone. Everybody.
I got my phone right here. I got my computer right here. Like, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? Twitter. I know Twitter been going crazy since about 12:04.
All right,
yeah,
let's take these deals, man. Make sure the mic is good. All right, let me see. Give them a hard time tomorrow. I want to say we haven't had a linebacker in like 4+ years since KG, and now we got him. Who's KG?
KG.
Who's that one?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Did you say, huh?
The merch. You see the merch now, saying? Big O, man.
DT, you famous. You expect them not to question you. Ice up, son. What's up, Ross? Ross gonna be coming through in a little bit. Chop it up with us. Austin Ekeler really might come here. Yeah, I think I saw that deal was like 2 years, $4 million or something. That's insane.
I mean, if we can get Austin Ekeler for that,
yeah, I'll take it. Then we talked. Wasn't there some talks last year about him?
Yeah,
coming over here, or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
but at the time, I believe that was like trading for him, though, and would have been him needing a new contract at the time.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's go through these. Let's look at these signings. Of course, Zach Ertz. We talked about that, which is a 1 year up to $5 million. We're not sure what the base or any of that yet, but it's up to. Dorrance Armstrong. He's going to play in. He played the 5 technique and the 3-4 in Dallas, so he's going to play in here, and that just gives you variations of the different type of defense that we could possibly run. Because remember, on the defensive side, Joe Witt said, they expected us to run one defense when we got to Dallas from Atlanta. We ran one totally different. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to have a Commanders defense, and that's the same sentiments from the other side of the football. when Cliff was like, "Look, don't attach that air raid offense to me," So and that's good too, because we have so many different coaches from different backgrounds that's done this before, all different systems. So just imagine we could have like this power playbook on both sides of the ball. I'm excited, man. He also 3-year up to $45 million, but the base of the deal is 3-year 33. That's $11 million a year. That's a good number.
That's the other thing is like these are all good contracts. If I'm not mistaken, DC, you gonna have Devin with his last name. How you pronounce Tyler's last name?
Biotis.
Cool. Let's go. Biotis. Cool. We gonna work on that. We gonna work on that. But like they're all good contracts. Like they aren't overspending. Like these are good deals. Like we've seen a few people get deals today. Was like, whoa, y'all gave him what? Like I'm like I said, bro, I'm happy. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, like that guard deal in Carolina was insane.
Yo, 5 years, $100 million to.
That deal was insane. And yes, Carlton Davis did get traded to Detroit, and Slimster Eggers cut down his list to Commanders.
Get your Wi-Fi up. Late. Wi-Fi.
George Carmi.
What's good, Joe? What's good?
Man, and Mike Pod, how you doing, man?
Good, man. It's chilling. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Like that hat. George always got the drip, though, man. Like,
yeah, man. George, I gotta holler at George, man.
What's good with y'all?
So what's good, George?
It's chilling, man. Good day in DC, man. I like these free agent signings, man. I'm happy with them so far. How y'all feel?
Good.
Man, I'm like I just said, man. I'm good. We're getting players that I feel will help. They're good deals at positions of need. Like, I'm cool with it so far. Obviously, we got to see him play and all of that. But like as it currently stands, like we just filled 4 holes, right?
Absolutely, yeah, something like that. I think 3. Yeah,
three. I'm sorry, 3 in/nose, depending on what the front is. Center, which we saw how bad that got last year, and linebacker. And I mean, if you want to count Zach Ertz too, that's I think you could include him in upgrading that
I think so.
Too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the takeaway with the whole free agency class is everyone's so young, man. Walking away 26, 27-year-olds. I walked into the conversation. You guys are talking about the contracts too. These aren't break-the-bank contracts. These are exactly what you want. You want like $10, $12 million deals, younger players on the upside of their careers. They're looking good, man. I think Dorrance Armstrong is a rotational. He was a rotational player in Dallas, defensive end behind Micah Parsons and Dexter Lawrence. But dude, coming over here to DC, getting more reps, you could approach 8 to 9 to 10 sacks. I saw the pause there too. It's funny. You get about 10 sacks there. That's all good. Biad Diaz, badass, like I like to call him over there as our center. I like that, man. I think it'd be pretty solid. Like I think it's going to solidify our position there. He's 26 years old. We haven't had a solid center since Rouillet's been injured. He's been injured consistently. So having someone at 26 kind of build our team around is solid there. And I think my favorite signing all day just happened a couple minutes ago. Dude, Frankie Luvu coming over from Carolina, undrafted linebacker, worked his way up from special teams, team captain this year. He plays the mic. He could also play off the edge. He blitzes as a linebacker there. Still pretty young, so I think there's a lot of upside there. So I'm happy, man. Adam Peters cooking the first day.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. Like we was talking about the deal for Dorrance Armstrong. Initially it was 3 years with a max of 45. So we're like, all right, that's an up to deal. That's good. So that's when the base numbers came out 3 at 33. That was like, wow,
even better. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's even better. And depending on if he's able to make that climb, what's that, 13 million or something? Then great, like awesome.
Absolutely.
If you're able to do that.
Right.
That helps us for sure. But as far as how we approach free agency, it took us a while to get going. We was in the space just waiting. But what was your thought process for the approach coming into free agency, and how did it kind of like change as we're moving through free agency?
I think free agency is a little bit better than I expected, to be honest with you guys. I don't know how y'all felt about it. I thought that we were going to be pretty frugal. I thought we'd probably get maybe 1 or 2 guys the first day, which we got 3. So I think we kind of we're a little bit more over ambitious than I thought we were going to get. I feel like Dorrance Armstrong was going to happen. I feel like we kind of been talking
Yeah.
about that for a little while between us on the chat, between us offline. We kind of knew that one was going to come. But we kind of, Deuce, credit to you, man. You had that free agency list. You had Frankie Luvu on your list. That was definitely one you had on your radar. I didn't think Diaz, badass. I don't know if he was going to come on our team, but I'm glad that we got him there too. But I think it's a good start. It's exactly what we wanted. This will probably be our biggest splash. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I think this is going to be the big blocks for our free agency. I think these three guys right here, we're probably not going to get anyone bigger. We're probably going to get a couple more smaller signings as we go on. At least that's what I project. I kind of think it's going to be more of like we're going to use free agency to build, like solidify all the holes on our team, then go into the draft and take BPAs. What I kind of think is going to happen.
I agree. I think in the second wave we could. I mean, it's hard to say second wave. We only off on day one, but I think in the second wave you might see them kind of start to look to re-sign some of the guys that were here previously. I mean, I think their plan all along was to let all of those guys hit the open market and see what their actual value is, so they didn't overpay for somebody.
I agree. Yeah.
And Gibson, I think to my knowledge, is the only one that signed elsewhere. But now you're looking at a Cam Curl, at a Kendall Fuller, some of the other guys, seeing what their value could be and seeing how they fit, not only positionally but financially in those plans.
I agree. I don't see a problem with that. Do y'all see a problem with that at all? I think it's a smart decision, to be honest with you. Kind of put it out there, kind of test the market. It's all about communication. If you kind of talk to your free agents, like, hey, I highly respect you. I care about you a lot. This is my approach to free agency. I'm looking at this kind of price for you. Come back to me. We'll look at it with each other. If you put that whole dialogue out there, I think most people are professionals. They're willing to kind of go test the market and come back, but you never know.
Yeah, I agree. I think, for us as a fan base, we kind of been so used to trying to get in a hurry to re-sign these guys so quickly, but then not invest in the time with front office, because usually we didn't have trust in the front office to do certain things. I think with this new direction with Adam Peters and them, it wasn't a rush to try to sign a Cam Curl, knowing that the safety market was more than likely going to be like this. Is very, very full of a lot of guys out there, like a Darnell Savage just signed, Xavier McKinney just signed a while ago. So it's a possibility that hey, maybe Cam Curl might come back on the deal that some of us kind of projected for him. I don't see that. And my thing as well with the free agency, it's kind of going as I expected. Getting these young guys with upside after their rookie deals and stuff. Olu, he's been the young guy from Carolina. He's been that surprise for me. I liked him so far. I still think they might have probably one more move, not a big move, but probably somewhere on the offensive line. And then probably see what we can do about bringing a couple guys back along for the team.
I got you. I think one thing we have to give credit for is Adam Peters is respected around the league. I think he knew this was going to happen with the safety class. Like going to the combine, you talk to agents, you talk to different coaches, you talk to like the vibe of the league. He probably had heard about all these safeties being let loose and seeing them pop free. He's like, you know what? Like, Curl, I respect you. I like you on the team. Let me just kind of test the market out, see what's going on first. So I think he had that projection. I think he's smart. He's playing chess. He knows what he's doing. So I like that so far.
Not just that, but I think the fact that they, between the coaching staff and the front office, the new people, they have a lot of people from other places.
I love that
people
too.
That probably had some kind of evaluation, some kind of idea what those teams thought of those players as well. So it's like, well, when I was in San Fran or when I was in Detroit or Pittsburgh or whatever, this is what we thought of this player, and we didn't have this player value.
I agree.
That so like that also kind of helps in your evaluation. And like I said, I hope it's not the case, but I feel of the free agent guys that we see like could possibly come back, it's possible that Cam Curl may have soured just because of the reaction, the kind of reaction when it came out that he was going to test the market.
I can see that for real, though, to be honest with you. But go ahead.
And I mean, I hope it's not the case. I mean, we're all human, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can see how that could definitely turn somebody off to something, but I think, like I said, I've been saying for a while. I feel like not just for him specifically, but for the team, it was in everybody's best interest to just let those guys hit the market and see what their value might be. And hopefully we'll kind of see how it plays out in the coming days and weeks.
Yeah, that's something, man. What's up, Tony? I see you in there. My cousin is in here.
Yo,
Appreciate you coming through. Glenn, what it do? What's up, Unc? Playing chess is more fun. Of course, you'll say that, Unc. You at the park all day. Trail said Luvu is going to be special. He'll be at the park all day. I should check out his store when you get a chance. Yeah, man. Seems like Trail and Krem, those guys are in group chats. You know, they from the Carolinas, and a lot of their group chats include them. And a lot of those Carolina fans are upset. I mean, you have Dallas fans that's upset and say, "Oh, now Quinn want to have a middle linebacker." So, you know what I mean? Like, these moves, man, is good and is very refreshing. But let's kind of pivot away from us. Saquon George, he just responded back to
I just saw that.
I didn't see it. What do you say? What do you say?
He just responded back to Tiki. So he was like, "Tiki, you've been a hater since I got to New York. All that dead to me talk, don't smile in my face when you see me."
Damn. Okay.
We're not gonna pretend like Tiki Barber didn't almost get run out of New York before he fixed his fumble.
That's
problem.
true. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Good call, Breeze. I agree with that. I like Saquon in Philadelphia. I don't know how y'all feel about that. I think it's a good match. I think they have a good offensive line. They're not going to run the offense through him like they did in New York. I think he's going to be a complementary player. I think he'll be able to support them. The thing is, what is he going to do in the red zone and on third down? Is Jalen Hurts going to steal all those carries? What's going to happen there? But I think it's going to prolong his career. I kind of think that's a pretty good signing for them. I don't know how y'all feel about that.
Yeah, I like it. Like, I don't like it. To be honest, I don't like it.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. But
Okay.
And that's the opposite, because it's a good move for them. It's a good signing for them. I mean, look, he was it was a crazy number last year before he got hurt. It wasn't like 46% of the offense or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a crazy number. So he go there. They don't need him like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they probably add some running backs to help him out, but it's going to be what he's still able to bring. I think is a great pickup for the Eagles. It's a great pickup for the Eagles.
I agree.
That is going to be a physically strong ass backfield. Like Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley in the same backfield is
until they get on the goal line. Jalen start taking his touchdown.
Well, yeah.
That's one thing Philadelphia does well, though. They have a pretty balanced offense. People think that they are like a fun and gun, deep passing team, but they actually have a pretty heavy running game when they want to. So I can see Saquon doing pretty well.
And they get in trouble when they get away from that.
Mm-hmm.
They get in trouble when they get away from the run game. And you saw that a lot. You know, the second half of the season, you know, they started going less and less to Swift,
Mm-hmm.
and you know they start getting into those issues. Because to only bring Chase back. Where you at with this?
Why are you even talking about this right now?
Man,
What do y'all? Go ahead. Yeah, DT. What do you think about that?
man, look, I was just
Tony Pollard. Because Tony Pollard went to
You with the Titans?
Titans. Yeah,
That's not a good move, by the way. I don't know if you,
I don't like it either.
So they have Tajay Spears there and the Titans, and if y'all been following him, he's pretty good. He actually was a pretty good third down back for the Titans. He plays pretty well. He plays pretty similar to Tony Pollard, so I don't really know how they balance each other at all. They're both like pass catching, outside stretch kind of running backs. I don't really know what's going to work there. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, so I was just talking to my pops about, you know, be hilarious if they find a way to bring Chase Young back on a 1-year deal after we trade him for a third. But I was like, nah, man, I think ship is sailed for that. The injuries are still a concern for me. The effort has been a concern since, you know, after his rookie year and stuff like that. So let's move on with Chase stuff. But that Saquon Barkley news, man, kids were running up to me. Oh, they're like, man, you got Saquon, bro. How y'all gonna stop that? How y'all gonna stop that? I was like, man, y'all chill, bro. Because I'm just sitting here thinking, like, dang, the RPO game about to be nasty. Like, all that stuff about to be nasty with them, bro. I hate the Eagles, bro. I hate it.
The Giants just got Jermaine Elumunor. I don't know. I'm so sorry. The tackle from the Raiders, number 72. He had a good year last year. So they making some moves, man. Yeah, I want him out of our division too, Kim. What's up, Marcus? What's good, man? Radar, Kellen Moore calling play. Oh, yeah, that's right. How's this going? Man, Kellen Moore gonna have to run the ball. I don't know. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting for sure. What's up, bruh? Keep up with great comment. I appreciate you, man. Yep, making a Cowgirls. They are in shambles right now.
Yeah, Cowboys are hurting right now.
Yeah. What's up, Dustin? Yeah, man, this where we at. Yeah, I don't really care, Kim. I ain't messing with him. Yeah, Joe. So like when you look at inside of our division with some moves that's been going on. Of course, the Giants, like Slim say, their rebuttal was weak to losing Saquon, and they brought in Boston Scott.
That is weak. It's real weak.
So
real weak.
And then you got Dallas just like kind of spiraling out. They losing players because they can't sign them. They still haven't made a decision on Dak, what they're going to do with Dak.
Yeah.
You have that looming, and you got their former players coming out like making fun of Jerry Jones, talking about we going all in and ain't nothing happened. So as far as inside of the division, where's the biggest threat, the biggest weakness, the biggest fall, the biggest rise, you think?
So I think the Giants are falling off, man. Losing Saquon's a big deal. Like Boston Scott is not a legit running back one. You can't have him as a running back one. So I don't know what they're going to do about that. I mean, maybe they chase after Ekeler, Henry. There's a couple good running backs on the market still if they want to go test those out. But I don't see Henry going to the Giants at all.
So hold on, George. So the Panthers trading star Brian Burns to the Giants. Burns lands a 5-year deal worth 150 max with 87.5 guaranteed. Carolina sends Burns 87.5 guaranteed. And the Giants send them a second and a fifth.
They trying to get that wide receiver.
And Burns is the second highest paid defensive end.
That's crazy. So I mean, good for them there, but that's about it though, right? I mean, I don't know. Burns is pretty good. That's a lot of money going to him. They gave away a second-round pick, too. That's a high second-round pick, right? It's going to be in the 40s probably. Yeah, so that's definitely something there. Who's going to play quarterback for them? They have Daniel Jones still, not worried about that. Boston Scott, not worried about the running back.
Who's going to
run the ball? Yeah, their offense is in shambles, right? So
outside of left tackle, who's going to block for them? Like they got hope.
They got a lot of holes there. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Cowboys. I mean, it's so funny. Cowboy fans, they've been winning. They had 12 wins 2 years in a row. So they've been a pretty solid team. But Cowboy fans are tripping right now. They're like, dude, they ain't spending any money. They're mad at Dan Quinn for stealing all their coaches and all their players right now. It's hilarious. I love it. We'll see what they do. But they don't like Stephen Jones, by the way. Stephen Jones is the money maker, the financial planner in Dallas. They don't like the money that he's spending over there.
Not at all.
And they got a big decision. They have CeeDee Lamb, they have Micah Parsons and Dak all coming up on contracts. What are they going to do about all that? So you got to keep Parsons. You got to, I mean, the out of the three, you probably think Dak will be the one that will go, right? What do y'all think about that? CeeDee Lamb, Micah, and Dak. Who do you keep? Who goes from those three? You can't keep all three.
I mean, what else they gonna do? Like, it's Dallas. You have to have a star quarterback.
That's true.
I don't know, man. It's not gonna be Trey Lance.
Yeah, CeeDee walked.
You have to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like you can't. You're not.
But they just can't get nobody. They can't get Michael Penix. They can't get JJ McCarthy. They can't get Bo Nix. Like those guys not gonna move the needle for America's team.
Yeah,
that's true. You know.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, they had a few years with Drew Henson and Quincy Carter, and what I mean, like it ain't always been flowers and bubblegum up there. So
but that's what he don't want to do. It seems like Jerry don't want to hit that reset button real quick. He's still trying to do, but and it's good that he's drafting players like CD, Micah. All these players are people that they're drafting, so they're hoping more and more hit. But as sooner or later, I think the number for Dak this year, we was looking at it the other day. I think it's $59 million if he plays this year. I think if they cut him, release him at $61 million out of the dead cap. And his projection from Spotter Track, which you can take with a grain of salt, is $50 million a year. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
How do y'all feel about Dak? Is Dak top 10, top 15?
Yeah, top 12 for sure.
Yeah.
He's in that Kirk tier to me, like put up prolific numbers, but when it comes to like winning those games and stuff like that, that's been a problem for him, quite honestly. I know it's a team sport, but when you're in Dallas, that star has a lot of pressure. And no matter what you do, you're the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, and you literally replace Tony Romo. You have the same record. That stuff it's hard. And I think that's the big question that you're asking is like, okay, you get rid of Dak, but it's hard to get a quarterback. we went 30 years still trying to find one. So what will Dallas do at the most crucial position? I think that would be interesting if they think about getting rid of Dak Prescott.
Yeah. Dak's interesting because he puts up numbers in the regular season. Like there's a point this year where he was like borderline MVP. I don't know if y'all remember that part of the year. He was a borderline MVP this year.
I mean, last year too.
Yeah.
He had a,
And then he goes to the playoffs. He throws 2 pick sixes and just totally blows up the entire game. So what is he for real? We have no idea.
We don't.
It's funny.
We don't. Dallas broke the guy bumming cigarettes, holding the door for people while they walk in the store to buy what they want. I think you still at work, bro. I think you typing and working. Unc say where they getting this money Daniel Jones still paid. Yeah. It's $40 million is not like a team. I don't know where their money is, but $40 million is not like it's a big hit for sure, but it's not something that you can't make other moves.
Keep in mind the cap went up $30 million this year too.
Yeah. What's up, Tim? Yeah, Gibson is gone. How you feel about that, George?
I like Gibson, but I feel like we never used him right. And I feel like I think it's a good fresh start for him somewhere else. I don't know if I like the fitting in New England though. I don't think they're gonna. They already have Ramondre Stevenson there. The Patriots offense was really weak last year too. I don't see Gibson being like a really intricate part of that offense unless they get a rookie quarterback. We'll see what happens there, but I don't know. I'm not too. I feel bad for him because I feel like he was never used right in the NFL, but I don't see him doing well in New England.
Yeah, it gets to that point, George. It's like, at what point is it going to be like you just can't? It is
what it is. Right?
It's tough. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But like I say, every situation is based on the situation, so. It's tough, man. So I hope he goes. He's probably going to take Zeke's spot, I'm sure, as a backup for Stevenson. What was his injury? Because it was late in the year, right?
I forget now.
I forgot what his injury was.
Zeke was actually he was like not efficient though. Zeke would get like 20, 30 carries, but like you got like 20 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown. But he was carrying the ball a lot though. Yeah. Let me ask y'all a question real quick. I keep seeing in the chat, Outlaw Kim. How do y'all feel about the Commanders getting a running back like Ekeler or Henry? Do you think that's a priority for us? Not really. How do y'all feel about that?
Nah. I mean, if you're talking about to replace Antonio Gibson, I think for his I agree with you that he was never really used correctly, and he's way more talented than his production would suggest. But I think for what his role was and what his production was, you could easily draft that in rounds 3, 4, 5, and not lose much of anything. I mean, he was essentially relegated to being a pass catching back and a kick returner. Like we can find that.
So the new terms for Luvu deal, my bad, Breeze. 3-year, $31 million with a max of $36 million.
Not bad.
It's a great number. 7th year in the league, still young. Of course, he's going to be Mac. He was ascending. I think PFF had him top 5 ranked in the league. So I like it, man. I like it. But I'm sure I saw one number. It was like 2 years for like $4.5 million for Ekeler, I think. I mean, hey, I would take that. I mean, I think that's a good move. I mean, why not bring in a vet? That's been that's had a lot of production. But we got 2 running backs now. They didn't put any tenders on Gore, so that just leaves them 2. And I like it, and also be able to add somebody in the draft. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be mad at it, but the Henry thing, I would love Henry here. Like I ain't gonna lie, I would love Henry here, but it doesn't make sense, especially when you got Brian Robinson. I think that'll stunt his growth.
He had a good year last year too, Robinson.
Yeah. So
I know we were talking about it earlier before you got up here. I know Ekeler had some interest last year with this team, but it was really by trade. So signing him for like a good productive deal, I'll be okay with it. But I prefer to draft a running back, especially in the 3rd, 4th round, get some value there. Clearly, we do need a style like Ekeler because not saying Brian Robinson can't catch at the backfield and stuff like that, but you got Chris Rodriguez 2nd year. You need somebody that can add a little change of pace, a little bit of a home runner.
I agree.
We don't have that in that offense. I've been kind of saying that last year. Some people said we didn't need a home runner, which is absolutely insane. But craft that can provide that style. Also played in similar air raid systems that Cliff is going to be running. So I would be cool with Ekeler for 2 years, $4.5 million, but I prefer the draft.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think that's one of them positions where, it's necessarily any more essential to have a vet in the room. It's not like quarterback or
I agree with that.
receiver, where I don't think running back is like that kind of position where it's like super difficult to adjust to the next level. Your holes are your holes, your keys are your keys. Things don't change that much from level to level. Again, for what I think whatever running back they add, regardless of how they add them, what I think that role is going to be, I don't think it's going to be something where you need to have a veteran. But for the contract the Deuce just said, I'm fine with bringing him in on that, but I just I'm with DT as far as drafting one though.
Now I'm with you. I can't see $4 million for him though, because I feel like we saw Pollard get $8 million. We saw what did Gus Edwards get? I have no idea what he got. There was we had two running backs go early. It was Pollard and Swift for about $8 million a pop. And then we got
8 or 24. I
then we got Barkley for
15.
They got Barkley for 15. I can see Ekeler being around 8, in my opinion. I feel like he's probably the same level as Pollard. I don't know about 4.5 million.
Only thing that may hurt Austin Ekeler is his age. I believe he's going to be 30, right?
I think so. Yeah, a little bit older.
So his age and a little bit of his injury history.
Yeah.
But again, for whatever, if he were to come here I don't think he would be. He's not going to be an every down back. He would have a defined role. So it's not like he'll be taking punishment 3 downs. So his injury history might not be that big a deal. But I just think for the long-term projection of that role, I think it's just more efficient to get a rookie at a good value in the either second day or early third day.
Yeah, I agree.
So George, what do you think about some of our players that's free agents? I'm like the JSWs and the Two Hills and all that. I'd be surprised if they go somewhere else. They probably already signed. We ain't gonna hear about those the Wednesday at 4:00 probably.
Yeah.
But where are you at with Fuller and Curtis and Curl?
I like Curtis Samuel, man. I don't know how y'all feel about him, but I feel like he'd be a good fit in our offense. I don't think he'll be that expensive either. I think he'll probably be about $8-10 million a piece. I think can be pretty flexible because what happened with Cliff Kingsbury is he likes to flex out his running backs out into the into the wide receiver out in space. So we don't necessarily have a running back right now that can do that. Brian Robinson can't be flexing out on the boundary. I don't think he can do that. So maybe taking Curtis Samuel and doing that, kind of using him in motion, put him out that way. I think that would work. We're going to need wide receivers in DC anyway. We only have 2 actual legit wide receivers on our roster right now. We have McLaurin, we have Dotson, then we have Diami Brown right afterwards. Who else we have?
Diami and Milne are both both under contract, but
Kazir Allen.
Allen. But like I told somebody the other day, they kept 7 receivers. It's entirely possible that only 2 of them are going to be back next season.
Absolutely, yes. We need some depth. We need some volume wide receivers. I don't mind getting the draft got some awesome wide receivers, by the way. We can probably go up to the 3rd round with some really good wide receivers. Go pick someone there. I like Ladd McConkey. He's pretty awesome. I like him as a good wide receiver there. Pearson from what's his name? It's getting the name mixed up. The Florida wide receiver, Deersall, right? He's pretty solid.
Pearson. Oh yeah,
Deersall. He's pretty solid too. There's some good wide receivers in the draft.
The guy from the combine.
Yeah, from the combine is pretty solid too. There's also some good free agent wide receivers. KJ Osborne's available. Hollywood Brown's available. He's connected to Kingsbury. I don't know if you guys like him a lot.
No,
he's small. He's 5'9", 180. But if you look at him,
I know the last report they had the Chiefs was in contact with him.
Oh, for real? Okay, I can see him being good there.
Yeah, I can know these.
He had over 100 targets over the past couple of years. I'm not really a huge Hollywood fan, but he is a high volume wide receiver. So I could potentially see him as a rack guy over here in DC. So I wouldn't mind that at all. Fuller's interesting, man. Fuller, I think I want to throw it back to y'all in a second. I think Fuller's a good player, but I don't think he's elite by any means, right? I don't know how nationally, PFF, they rate him really high, and he might get a $10-15 million contract, but I don't necessarily see him as that special. But at the same time, our defensive backs aren't that good. We kind of need somebody at some point. What do y'all feel about him?
Yeah, for Fuller, I think it really depends on the defense.
Yeah.
And personally, like, I mean, I don't know, haven't heard anything, but I think he likes it here.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, he
He's
went to
from here.
school. Yeah, he's from here. Went to
Council
school,
in
went to
Virginia
college
Tech.
here. He's
Yeah.
drafted here. Went to Kansas City. He came back here with no problem. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think there could be a team friendly deal out there if the defense works, because he has a ring, right? He already got a ring. So
Yeah.
And his family still lives here. Like,
yeah.
not just his parents, like his brothers and all that stuff still live here too. Like
Mhm.
fairly close. My fault. Go ahead. I mean,
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Kendall Fuller is tough because he is kind of to that point. He's an older cornerback, not old by any means, but for the position, he's an older cornerback.
Mhm.
He's already not the fastest guy in the world. So his role and usage is definitely important when you talk about signing him.
Mhm.
And he has a little bit of leverage for this team because he's been the best cornerback on this team. And I think the league thinks a lot higher of Kendall Fuller than like your average fan would. I don't want to see where like your average fan would. But and then the cornerback that you drafted last year to essentially be the future at that position, for all intents and purposes, was not to beat up on him anymore, but for all intents and purposes, he was the worst rookie cornerback in the league last year.
Mhm.
So if like you aren't really in a space right now to move on at that position, I guess it comes down to his role in the defense and his asking price.
Mhm.
I see that comment right there. It says Fuller at 14.1 per. Yeah, for that we can move on and get somebody else respectfully. But yeah, it's in a tough spot with Fuller, and I'm on board with bringing Curtis Samuel back.
Mhm.
But again, you know, it's got to make sense.
Like who is CD? Go ahead, D.
Yeah, I like Fuller, but I wouldn't be completely mad if they, go a different direction. I like some of the corners at free agency as well. I probably would want Curtis back a little bit more based on his versatility, what he could do in this offense and provide for stuff. Also, I just written down, so Panthers will now have the 39th pick. So that's a pick ahead of us in the second round. They got bamboozled. They should have been traded that dude a year before. So that's all.
So the Giants are going to draft one pick ahead of us, DT. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. They traded the
now
pick.
Be
the Panthers.
Oh, the Panthers got it now. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second round pick.
Yeah, and then with Curl is we've been talking about Curl at nauseam at this point, but he's in such a weird spot, bro. Like for him personally, I don't know what his fit is on this defense. He's a good player. You can't deny the fact that he's a good player, but his value to this new team this new defense he's never played in, but in my opinion, relies very heavily on his usage. Because I think he's best suited as a strong safety. And if they don't plan on using him like that, or if they think maybe Derek Forrest, who's already under contract, can do it, then I don't think we aren't going to pay him a whole bunch of money to do what we already have somebody else who can do it. I think they would either attack free agency at free safety, and get somebody like J-Ron Curse, somebody who's already been in the defense. And I think it's a little bit bigger and maybe a little bit better than Cam Curl. So he's in a real tough position as it pertains to us. But I think there's still a market for him. But he's in a spot where he needs other safeties to kind of set his market before he just signs on somewhere.
So Breeze, you're saying that there's too many strong safeties on the team? Is that what you're saying? He doesn't have a fit here?
I think in a perfect world, Cam and Forrest both play the same position. And because Forrest is already under contract and is a starting caliber NFL safety, the same as Cam, I don't think there's a need for us to kind of break the bank. Not break the bank, but to pay
a big contract
money when you already have Derek Forrest, who's still on his rookie deal as a 6th, 7th round pick. So money wise, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If they view him as more of a free safety, as like I do, more of a strong safety than a free safety.
And Forrest makes plays, man. He hits and he gets turnovers and he forces fumbles. He's a good player, man. So I can see that for sure.
I don't know if we can compare Cam Curl to Cam Chancellor.
Yeah, Cam Chancellor's a big boy. Cam Chancellor's 6'3", 230 pounds or something. He's a big boy.
I think Chancellor might be bigger than that.
Yeah.
But Breeze made a good point, though. I think when you look at how they were drafting, a lot of the guys we have, me personally, I think Forrest is more of a strong safety. I mean, he can play. He has some range there. He showed some range 2022, but I still think he's more of that strong safety guy you put in the box, big hitter, things like that. You're still trying to figure out what Quan could do. He showed up a little bit at the end of the year, but Percy Butler, that boy just need work.
Yeah, I'm not even factoring Percy in this. Well, respect.
He need work when he get off the
Respectfully, I
field.
love it.
But I think free safety is definitely something to look at.
So who's our free safety right now, in your opinion?
Campbell, wasn't it Cam? No, it was they had Forrest playing free safety last year, right?
They had Butler playing. No, they had Butler playing it too. Butler, and they had Quan Martin kind of flexing back there too.
Yeah, Quan moved everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're in a. It just, and obviously we have no way of knowing until they start signing players. But his value to this new team. If this was the old regime, Cam would have already been signed.
I agree to that. I feel like Rivera and Jack Del Rio loved Cam Curl.
Yeah,
I think the new regime they don't owe him anything, which isn't a bad thing. It's a business, right? They don't know who he is, and just kind of figured it out. So I don't know. I like Cam Curl. He put in the work, and he basically earned his money, but good for him. But I just don't know if he fits into our team right now, like you're saying. Like we'll see what's up there.
I think Cam was if not the perfect fit for Jack Del Rio's defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know if that's the same fit in Dan Quinn / Joe Witt's defense.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll get his money somewhere. If not here, he'll get his money though.
I mean, it's very fair, talk about this because me personally, I love Cam, but sometimes, man, we just got to take the burglar lenses off. Like, don't have to invest all our money in every single player that we have in. If they can find a guy that can do the same things like him, I don't think it's a loss. It's more of an advantage to you because your scouting is good, and people don't.
That's what you're supposed to do. If you scout well, just like you're saying, DT, if you scout well and draft well, let these guys walk in big contracts, you get the comp picks down the road, you can build up a good team. That's what the 49ers do and the Eagles do over and over again every year. So it's a good call there. Are there any safeties that you guys like on the free agency market? Do you guys like Justin Simmons or Jaron Kearse, Jeremy Chin? How do y'all feel about that?
I like Simmons, and I like I just think Jaron Kearse makes sense just situationally. I mean, he would essentially be coming to play in the defense he just left.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if they were to move on from Cam, whatever they decide to do at safety, I feel like if they were to go via free agency, Jaron Kearse is the most likely safety.
I can see that
to fit. You know what I mean? Just fit wise. But yeah, I mean, I like Simmons. I don't think they're going to pay Simmons money. Or what I feel like he's probably asking for because he's probably the best safety on the market right now. Off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Then I had to think a little bit deeper to see kind of more, I guess, reasonable safeties that kind of fit what I think that they're going to do.
Yeah, makes sense. What do you think, DT?
Yeah. So Simmons, very obvious. We know the production he has in the NFL. Kearse, that's ideal. Played in the Ekeler system. I'm gonna say, oh my God, we just signed Ekeler.
Do we really? Okay. That's funny. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I ain't mad at it though. For real, I mean, I wouldn't have done it for real, but I'll take it though. I'll take it. It's
my point.
DT could get news breaks like in mid-sentence.
How much? What's the cost? That's a trick there. How much is the cost?
It's only saying 2 years right now.
Nah, I see. Tom Pelissero just said 2 years, $11.43 million.
For 2 years? That's a good deal. I'll take that. That's a good deal.
Good deal.
That's straight. That's fine.
Okay.
Look at Deuce.
Okay, so
like that.
one player I do like, everybody mentioned, is Jeremy Chin, the safety from Carolina.
Yeah.
He had that great rookie year, just like Curl. So I think getting him on the team would be a good deal as well. He can play linebacker, safety, do some things on defensive end and stuff like that. I think he'll be a good pickup.
I can see that. But is he more of like a strong safety role though? That's a trick with him because he kind of plays in the box and all that. It's only a trick.
Right.
Looking at Jaron Kearse, he's 30 years old. I mean, but he knows the system though.
Hold on. By any chance, do you have his his projected value?
Let me look that up real quick.
My computer.
It's still looking at that.
CJ Gardner-Johnson is another good one. It's a deep safety market.
Yeah, free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh, I'll be intrigued with him. He just got to stay healthy. I think last year he got hurt. Didn't he get hurt last year?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. He's the kind of guy though where like you would have loved to have him on your team, but you hate to have him on the other team.
That type of dude.
Like yeah, like he like when he's with the Eagles, like but like when he was with the Saints, cool. He comes to the Eagles, I can't stand this dude. He go to Detroit, all right, cool. Like it's just
So I'm looking at Jaron Curse. They don't have his projected contract, but his most recent contract was 10 years, $10 million. Sorry, 2 years, $10 million. So a cap hit of $5 million per year, average, 5.4. That's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not bad
you could argue he outplayed that though.
Mm-hmm.
I think you fairly easily argue that he outplayed that, but how much do you think he outplayed it? So if that was 10 per or 10 over 2?
Two for 10 years. So 5 years apiece. It's not bad.
That's fine. Like if he wanted to re-sign that deal, we could sign him right now. Like I'm signing me up for it. So yeah, that would again another value thing. At some point we're going to have to see where we sit there with the cap because we done signed about 4 or 5.
I'm about to say, yeah, I'm surprised.
But yeah, I didn't realize he was 30 either. But the fact that he knows the system, the fact that he knows the system and has been successful in it does give him a little bit of value to where his age kind of balances out. And Chin is more of a strong or free.
I know he plays linebacker as well, so I would assume more of a strong safety. But he's been out he missed a lot of time over the past couple of years. And he's kind of been like a rotational player in Carolina, but it's all good. So Ekeler is 28 years old, so that's not bad.
That's all he is?
Oh, that boy.
That's all he is, 28.8 years old. Yep. His birthday's in May, so he'll turn 29 this year.
Okay. Well, happy early birthday, y'all.
Happy early birthday.
So now ask this question though. I know we talked about the safeties, but with that being said, with how the market is such full with the safeties and stuff like that, I know we kind of have our personal things. It's not really personal, but more what we feel like will be better for the team. If he doesn't really get the contract that he's asking for, would y'all be excited to come back on the deal that was kind of expected or just added up a little bit for Cam? Because
I'm fine with it. Listen, Cam's a good player. Like when Twitter blew up with the Cam Curl not good for real, he's trash. We get like slow down. Like he's still a good football player. He was still one of the better players on the defense. Like that's not granted the defense wasn't very good, but he was. Like the biggest knock with Cam is his turnovers. Like he doesn't generate turnovers, interceptions.
Yeah,
he got a few forced fumbles, but he doesn't create turnovers in coverage. That's the biggest issue with him. But outside of that, like Cam Curl's a perfectly fine safety. So I think he's better suited at strong, but he's a perfectly fine safety though.
Look at that comment, George.
That's so funny. That's hilarious. What's up, bro? That's funny. It was a garage gym. I love that. We got up and comer first round pick. What we got? Perfect. Now, so to answer your question, DT, I would be mad at it. I'd encourage that. If Cam Curl came back, I wouldn't be mad at that at all, right? I just think that the problem right now with him is there is a difference in opinion on his value. I don't know what's going on with his camp. It sounds like his camp wants him to get 18, 20 million, something high like that. And that's not where he's at right now, especially in this market. It's a bad year for him to be a free agent, to be honest with y'all. So, like, if he comes back at 10, 12, 13, 14, I mean, it's okay. 14 would be at the highest I would probably pay. But at the same time, he's 24. If you got to reward someone that's been in your system for a little while, if the team sees potential in him, they can build around him. Maybe the turnovers was because he was in a Jack Del Rio system. We can see maybe get some more turnovers in a Quinn system, but I wouldn't be mad at that. I mean, I'm not going to close the door on someone that's been playing hard for us for a couple of years. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is like 2 or 3 weeks ago, Cam Curl was viewed as one of the best safeties going in the free agency, and then all of a sudden, everybody cut their safety, and now he's like in the middle of the pack of the safety market. It's like which everybody else deciding to release their own starting safeties definitely hurt him going into free agency.
Mm-hmm.
So
For sure.
I think he and his camp, which again I have no way of knowing, but I feel like he and his camp were looking at what the projected market was. Like, oh, we're gonna be one of the top safeties. Like if you want to be in the Cam Curl business, you have to pay for it. And then one by one, safety started becoming available. They're like,
I think the landscape's changing too, Breeze. You do football, you coach football, man. I think like nowadays, I think we're becoming bigger and faster, and the coverage guys are becoming different, right? You're starting to see a lot of safeties that can play linebacker, that can play in the slot, that are more flexible. You're starting to see more evolution over time. So I think people are like, hey, why pay a safety where we can maybe draft one in the future or something like that too? I don't know if you agree to that at all, but I kind of start seeing more flexibility. Like there's no like you're strictly a corner, strictly a safety. Now people are kind of switching up positions now, more flexible, in my opinion.
And I think Cam is a smaller version of Landon Collins essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cam is my size. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like I'm not for real. Like me and Cam are the same size. He might be like an inch or two taller than me, but we're the same size.
Okay.
But Cam is, you look at a lot of for what his position is, like that kind of box safety or line hybrid linebacker role that Cam kind of excels at.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those guys are, 15, 20 pounds heavier than he is.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? You got him flying up, stuff in the run. That he's at his build, that does a lot of risk to his. That's a big risk to his body. You know what I mean? Running up, trying to hit linebackers in the face and stuff. Stuff run gaps and stuff like that. Like,
absolutely.
Which could be another thing. Like he may not, like how Landon didn't want to play that role for a lot of those same reasons.
Mm-hmm.
He may not want to play that role. He might want to be a free safety and play back deep and prove that he can get interceptions if he's played the correct way and all kind of stuff like that. So that also factors into it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I added that onto the. All right, so yeah, man. Any other questions for George, man? George, we definitely appreciate you coming in, man. We did go a little bit over, but the conversation got so good, man. We definitely appreciate you, man.
No, happy to be here, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yep. Go ahead, plug the podcast and one you have and with Doug and.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, so first of all, thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it. You guys are good people. We talk all day on the chat. I love it, man. Good stuff there. I'm George Carmi at gcarmi21 on Twitter. I have a Command the Mic podcast on YouTube. Definitely check that out. But most recently, I've been doing a lot of work with Big Doug, if you guys know who that is. So we're doing a Big Doug and Carmi show. We're moving that on Mondays and Fridays now. We're trying to get some people in the DC market, national market on our shows and kind of ask them questions there. And then on Tuesdays, we have a Commanders film room. We basically chop it up with Mark Bullock and PFF Nick Ackridge. We talk about game film and breaking it down. Tomorrow we're going to be doing all the free agents. We're doing Austin Ekeler. We're going to be doing Dorrance Armstrong. All these guys that we picked up on free agency. We'll be breaking them down tomorrow on our podcast at 4:30. So check us out on YouTube and check us out on Twitter. That'll be awesome, man.
Yeah, most definitely. I love it. All right, appreciate you, George.
See y'all, man. Peace.
All right,
Yes, sir.
George, man. Love George.
Man, we should have bought up that Kirk Cousins contract. Whew.
Oh, I forgot to ask George that.
Oh, we got plenty of time, brother, because I said on Twitter, Kirk Cousins' agent is going to end up in the Hall of Fame. Like, I don't know what kind of blackmail he got against some of these people, with all due respect to Kirk Cousins, but Lord.
So that's it. You get $3 million signing bonus, 4.8 total in year one, with a chance to earn another 1.5.
Is Ekeler? Deuce.
Yeah.
Did this Ekeler you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, man. Let's take a look at these. Yep, Ekeler has a nose for the end zone. Oh, we got these comments flowing in. Oh man,
appreciate y'all for watching.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate y'all stopping in. We'll be here for a minute, man. 5+. Chen, CJ Garner Johnson. Oh yeah, so yeah, complimentary. Yep, complimentary. Third down back, check down, third down back. Some people saying, why you check it out? Because that's what we need. Like we're complimenting things. We complimenting pieces, and this is how you compliment pieces. You bring in people to do these things. This is where we are. Yeah, I got garage. I think I got through some of these. 2 year, 11.4. Appreciate that. What's up, Jay? In the building. 100 million guarantee is my goodness. That dude. What's up, Scouts? Hey, Scouts, you could join us one of these days, Tuesday through Friday, because I'm thinking you be sleep around this time, but you've been up, so you could definitely come through.
He's older. I don't think he's old though.
Who?
Like the comment said, I'm a little concerned because Ekeler is old and injury prone. Injury prone. I mean, that's part of the position. He does have a bit of an injury history, but I won't call him. He's what, 28? I think Georgia said. Like, yeah, that's not old.
Let's check his numbers. What's his numbers from last year? See somebody in the chat. You have to pull up his numbers. By this time, we're gonna bring up the Super Bowl champion. What's up, champ? The champ is here. The champ is here.
Yo.
Can you hear me, Ross? You can't even hear me.
I can't hear a thing.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. He's just looking. Look.
Okay. So last year, Austin Ekeler had 628 yards for 5 touchdowns. Hold on, I'm about to pull up the whole thing.
In the chat, we can hear you. You can't hear us.
So 628 for 5 touchdowns, 51 receptions for 436 yards and 1 touchdown. He did have 5 fumbles last season and lost 4 of them.
What's up, guys? You got me?
There we go.
Yes, sir. There we go.
You hear us?
Had to change some settings. What's up, guys?
What's going on? You ain't even hear my I had this whole champ is here spill. You ain't hear nothing.
I didn't hear nothing.
It again.
I'm gonna go back and watch. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to a replay. My gosh.
Oh man.
Already
So
started.
what's going on, man?
My third one, man.
So what's going on with you, Ross?
Just sitting here, just doing our thing in Kansas City, man. We knew we weren't going to be very active today, so.
Yeah, before we get into that real quick, you got some big news happened over the weekend, man. Like, you want to tell the folks about it?
Yeah, we actually, myself and Ethan and DG and Corey and Max, we all got invited to join Kingdom Cast. So we took Arrowhead PM off the space on X, and we took it over to Kingdom Cast to do a nightly show there on Saturdays, and then on during the season on Tuesdays we'll start doing it on Tuesdays because we'll do a film review on the opponent that we're going to be playing and stuff like that, kind of show how they can attack us and how we can attack them and that kind of thing. So it's kind of a mix of like news and film review. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Congratulations. I love it.
Oh, man.
I mean, so like, you watching this, you know what I'm saying? You watched your team win, you know what I'm saying, these championships and in the playoffs and such. Just looking at our moves, I mean, what's your championship eye to the moves we're making so far?
I'll be real blunt. It's smart. Some cornerstone pieces. You're not going out there blasting your money all over the market. Like, it's just, there's some smart moves. You guys are putting some cornerstone pieces out there. You got a tight end. You've got the linebacker. You've got the defensive end that you guys picked up. The center, right? You guys needed some center help big time. I actually thought you guys were going to go after, what is his face from Buffalo?
Morse.
He's signed earlier today.
Yeah. I know he signed early, but I thought that one might be somebody you guys might attack. But because we had him here in Kansas City and we loved him when we had him, and we were kind of upset when he left, but he just required too much money, so we weren't going to do that. But I think you guys are just being smart. You guys are getting some core pieces at core levels, especially on defensive line. That tight end, I think, if he stays healthy, he knows the system. I think he's going to be good for you guys. Like I said, the offensive tackle, you guys need some offensive line help. Sorry about that other tackle we sent you. Maybe you can put him in at right guard, but
I can have him back.
Nah, we don't need him right now. We got overpaid right tackle right now. So,
hey yo, Austin Ekeler like LaRon Landry, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, thanks for that. You guys have taken a couple pieces off my board here that I kind of wanted.
Y'all see Austin Ekeler? He like LaRon Landry, yeah.
I mean, he looked like
He's
a
not that
Landry.
old, by the way. I saw somebody in your comics saying that he was old. I think he's only like
Yeah,
26, 27.
28, but still, that's not
Is it
old to me.
28? Okay. He's not that old. I think he's
All
still
right,
got some tread on the tires.
So let me see. All right, Scouts, I get with you. Yeah, free safety. Barkley isn't run all over us in the sea. What's up, Tim? How you doing today, man? Hi, Ross.
What's up,
Congrats,
Cam?
Ross.
What's up, John?
Yeah, that Brian
I'm good
Burns.
on Bakhtiari though.
On who?
Yeah, I don't want
Somebody
No.
some comments saying that was
Oh yeah. He
Bakhtiari.
only
I'm
played
good.
like 13 games the
It's like
last
13,
3 seasons.
13
Yeah, I'm
games
good.
in
I'm
like
good.
the last
Yeah.
3 years, right?
And he's
Yeah,
going
I
into his
missed that.
12th year or something like that.
Yeah. And you want to bring him to the Jets on that turf? Good luck. Have fun with that.
Yeesh. All right. So what about you all? What were your expectations going into the offseason?
For us, everybody
Mhm.
knows it. Priority number one, Chris Jones. We had to get Chris Jones done. We couldn't let him walk into free agency. We couldn't let him go. He's what makes the engine works on defense, especially in the defensive line. There was no way we could have lost him and been the same defense that we were this year. So getting him done was huge. And the contract that they put in place for him was amazing, in my opinion. Basically, it's a 5-year deal, but you can get out of it in essentially 3 years. So he got 95 guaranteed on it. I think $158 million total contract. Let's see, 95 guaranteed. So, and I think at signing he gets 33 million. So
Yeah, 33.
that was a
It's
huge
little bit more
contract.
than-
Yeah, it was well worth the contract to keep him here in Kansas City. The biggest thing that a lot of Chiefs fans were kind of surprised was the length, but I think they did that on purpose so they could spread it out, get a lot of the money in
Yeah, because
guarantees.
he's 31,
and then-
right?
Yeah.
Backloaded, deferred, guarantee, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the first year, this next year, he's only on the books for $7 million. So, I mean, the way Veach did that contract
Then
was
they jumped to like
really smart.
30 and 20. I think it's 40 in year 3, right? 41.
Yeah. 41, I think. So,
So-
I mean, that was priority one.
So a lot of guys in our fan base like Snead, right?
Mhm.
You know, I wanted Snead too until you start sabotaging him, saying he get his knee drained every 4 weeks.
Yeah, I'm not going to come in your space and lie to you.
So I was like,
drain it.
oh no, I don't want that.
Let him
But
know.
what's the
I
situation?
told
Because
you
he's
about
at
Wiley too.
right. So he's at what, 17? The tag is it 17 million?
19
million. So
Yeah.
what's the latest with Snead?
So really, there hasn't been anything with Snead right now. I think the Vikings, you could see may possibly a trade. I don't think the Cardinals are going to be on the board anymore because of, I think they just signed somebody, right? So, who's the other team I had written down for?
Probably was the Lions, but they just traded for Carlton.
They just
Davis.
traded. Yeah, they just traded. So that's going to be off the board there.
Mm-hmm.
If I can figure out where I wrote this down. There we go. I think the Falcons could still be in play, the Colts and the Vikings. So, I mean, it's starting to kind of get kind of small there because, I mean, the Lions just acquired Carlton Davis.
Yep,
but I
from
think
the
they could
Bucs.
still do. I think they could still do a Snead. And listen, a lot of fans in our group, they don't like the idea, but
Mhm.
because Chris Jones has a $7 million cap hit this year, there is a small chance that he could just play on the tag because you did that this year. So if he
Interesting.
walks next year, then you're still going to get a comp pick for him, depending on who we sign in free agency, right? So, I don't. There's still opportunity. I think they're still working on something. I think Veach wants a second round pick, and I think he wants it kind of in the middle of the second round, somewhere in that 45 range. I think would be good. 45 to 50, I think would be appropriate. So I mean, we would love to have don't get me wrong, everybody loves Snead, but at this point, when you sign Chris Jones, it was at the point of, well, we can't afford Snead now. He wants that 19 to $20 million range. I think his market value right now is listed at 16. But I just don't think we can pay that. I don't think it's feasible. We got other things we got to do. So at this point, it's just get your best value. Hopefully that second rounder would be great. But, if it's a third rounder, then that's what it is. But I think Veach is trying to get that mid second round pick. But the knee was definitely an issue. It popped up. They had a report come out about it, and some teams were worried about that. But they've been able to manage it. He's not really had any significant injuries. He did set out training camp. He did miss the preseason games, stuff like that. But he came in. You saw he played all year. So
Most definitely.
I mean,
so they was like essentially this deal with Ekeler is like essentially a 1 year, $5 million deal.
yeah, he was on my list.
Yeah. So what's going on with Patrick Mahomes and restructures? They're going to be a restructure this year.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. Also, I wanted Gibson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wanted Gibson. I thought he would have done nice in this offense. But damn Patriots.
We could have
So
traded you. We could have traded him to y'all
Patrick
for
Mahomes-
Snead.
Do what?
We could have traded you to him for Snead, man. I mean,
Yeah.
We could have worked something out.
Yeah, we could have worked something out, right? Patrick you can technically restructure him, I think, up to $45 million.
Okay.
But they're not going to do that because that's pushing way too much money back. So I think DMAC, I think he was dead on. He said about $20 to $25 million sounds about right. And then you can probably squeeze another $10 million out of Tooney's deal, restructure him. So, I mean, we could technically get to 35-ish, close to $40 million released up. Another big thing that a lot of fans and outside fans don't realize, Justin Reed's on contract this year. It's his last year on a $14 million cap hit. That's unfeasible. So either he gets cut or they extend him to try to get that number down to roughly around 10.
So what do you think it's going to be? Because that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, we had a whole day on Chiefs Kingdom Twitter where it was just going absolutely nuts back and forth because, yeah, I'm not even going to get into it because I'm not trying to get in that party. But he's a great safety, but he's better in the box. He's great against the run. He's a great blitz safety, right? But he struggles a little bit in the coverage skills, specifically in tight ends and running backs and stuff like that. But he did get a lot better towards the end of the season, definitely into the playoffs, where our rookie Connor came into the fold and he was kind of playing that third safety. So he was playing that roam safety, and then that pushed Reed down into the box, and you saw him in the playoffs made some big plays in the run game and coming off the blitz, specifically in the Ravens game. So, but I don't think that's worth that $14 million price tag that he has. You want that $14 million price tag for a safety that's going to be able to do it all, right? So either they cut him, which I don't want to do because he's a leader on that defense, or they extend him a couple years and push that money back a little bit and make that cap hit a little bit more manageable in the $10 million range. So
this is 3 years, $60 million.
yeah, I can
So
see that.
what's on your list? Because it's always the wide receivers not catching the ball. Kansas City never have a wide receiver one. You got Patrick Mahomes, so they make do. You got Kelsey, who's getting older. So what are you guys looking to do, like the rest of free age? What would you expect them to do, and what do you think they're going to do, and how do you think you're going to approach the draft?
Well, I mean, right now as it stands, we're going to have to get some money freed up. So the restructures are going to happen right now because I think we're at 4.5, something like that, $1 million over the cap with everything that has happened. Let me make sure and confirm that number. I think it was 4.5, but I just want to make sure I'm accurate on that because I know you like to number check me. 4.7. Yeah, 4.7. 4.7 over the cap right now. So we're gonna have to get some restructures done. And just getting Snead off that tag would be it, right? So
where are you with Patrick? Is that something that'll be after the draft, before the draft?
No, that should be done here within this week, in my opinion. That should be done this week because you got to get some people signed. I think there's a few people I hear. I think Veach doesn't want to go after. a buddy of mine, I think it was Max, he posted just a few minutes ago, which this is not really significant, but Hollywood Brown just followed Mahomes on Instagram. So
Here we go.
take that for what it
Talked
is,
about that
right?
earlier.
Take that for what it is. I think he would be good in this offense. See, my thing is with Hollywood Brown is I don't necessarily think that he's been in a system that has really showed his talents and really been able to help him in the league. I mean, he was with the Ravens, with the Cardinals. I just don't know. I mean,
It'll be interesting for sure. I think.
yeah.
I mean, he also has issues with drops, which you don't want to hear as a Kansas City fan.
No,
You know, and I
need
think
more of that.
he's also a high volume wide receiver. I think he had over 100 targets
Yeah.
last year. So it'll be definitely interesting to see what
Yeah.
he's able to do.
I'm not crazy about it, but I mean,
Yeah.
if you get him, then maybe you go after a Keon Coleman in the draft and pair Keon Coleman with him and Rashid Rice. Maybe that'll work out, you know. And you still got Watson there, Justin Watson. So, yeah, we'll see on that. I mean,
is that something you're looking to in the draft? Like, what you all got the 32nd pick? I guess the champs got the last pick.
Yep.
So what are you all looking to do with that? Trade out of it? Try to acquire more picks? The back, because the wide receiver pool is pretty deep. But
yeah, it is.
Once you get to like the mid second, you know, you start getting to that second and third tier wide receiver. So
yeah,
I mean, what do you think you guys are looking to do with the last pick?
I mean, you could do a couple of things if you want to get some of those guys. Like I think a Mitchell or a Worthy, you know, one of those guys. I think you're going to have to move up, especially in front of Buffalo where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
So I think moving up, Max, he came up with that, which was, I think, was a brilliant way of kind of coming up with a trade up, because nobody's going to trade with us really, and I don't think we have enough capital that we can move too far up. So I think 27 with Arizona, I think would be a good spot for us to move up. We can send them a third, and they send us back a fifth, and I think that the math checks out on that formula to move up to 27, so we can get like a Mitchell or a Worthy. I like this Ladd. I love Ladd, man. I think Ladd's going to be something special. I think he's just going to be a solid all around wide receiver. So,
and he's in most mocks, that's where he's going to you all at 32.
Yeah, and I wouldn't hate it. I really wouldn't hate it at 32. I mean, I think you can get him at 32. But if you don't get him at 32, I think he goes 33.
Yeah.
So
I like it. Hey, everybody that's in the chat, do me a favor. Throw me out some fire emojis, some bang emojis for DT, because he's like fading a little bit. Give us some fire emojis in the chat, man. Get some fire emojis.
It's just like the space. He's like, man, I really don't want to hear about these Chiefs talk about nothing, man.
No, I'm on the phone. I had a phone call.
Oh, yeah, phone call.
Real quick, do we know what the actual injury to Snead's knee is, or just that it basically swelled up and he had to get a drain?
It just swells up and they need to drain it, as far as I understand. Yeah, okay. It's never been a situation where he's missed time for it, but I think there's just something going on in there where there's just some inflammation that they got to drain off every once in a while.
Oh no!
What?
Oh no!
Hey, Deuce, man, don't be doing that, Deuce. Don't do that, Deuce.
You know what? But I mean, we did get Zuzu, so I see it, Slim. Oh my goodness, that's all right. That's all right. He going with D'Amico. I ain't surprised. Azeez Al-Shaair, my number one target, is expected to sign with the Texans, to go with D'Amico Ryans, and I'm not surprised. I was still hoping we still grab him. But because we signed
Madden.
Yeah.
I signed him.
What'd you say, DT?
I'm taking him off Madden right now. I made an ultimate team out of free agent.
Because we signed Frankie, man. I'm not surprised, but I am a little heartbroken. I did want him here, man.
Hollywood Brown's going around liking all kinds of tweets in Kansas City now.
Oh yeah.
But we, as Commanders fans, half the fan base got trolled by what's the dude from Buffalo that trolled everybody?
Deion Dawkins.
Deion
yeah.
Man, that was
Deion
That
Dawkins.
was funny.
That was
That was
hilarious.
funny.
That was funny.
That was hilarious.
That was funny. I can't remember who it was. I saw somebody's like, Commander fans went crazy for 30 seconds.
LJ.
LJ said we had
There you go.
Yeah.
Commanders fan had a love affair for 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's
that
it.
was hilarious.
That's the one. Yeah,
That was funny.
that's the one.
Z. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay. Let me see what that number is, man. Because Aziz played middle, right, DT?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy though. They got Christian Harris. I think he's more of a outside backer. And they got what's the boy name for Bama? Hang on. I'll think of his name. But they got pretty good linebackers over there. I'm surprised they get Aziz.
He's back with D'Amico, so we'll see.
It's all
What do you guys think of Curtis Samuel in this offense?
we were just talking about it. I would love to have him back. I just don't. I wonder what they think about having him back, because if you let him go, you really only got like two consistent options. Like I don't trust Giambi Brown. Mitchell Tinsley, he was an undrafted guy. You trying to push his role up. Like, so receiver is going to be a spot that we have to address either with depth or get a guy that can come in and be the third option. Because you see, some teams they have good 3 wide receiver sets.
Yeah, we send you KT for a 4th, 5th.
Not at all. Y'all can keep him.
Yeah,
I can keep him.
I ain't got time for that. Yeah, it's a new era.
Yeah, new era for sure.
He's gonna make like people think that we're gonna cut him and stuff. I just don't think we're gonna cut him. I mean, it's like a $2.7 million dead cap to cut him. I don't think he's got 1 year left, and he's got a 5th year option. But nobody in their right mind is gonna sign that 5th year option.
Yeah,
It's a $14 million cap.
That ship it.
Hell no.
Oh man! So 3P. What's the biggest challenge? What do you think you all need to do to 3P? And we definitely going to have you on, during training camp, be able to chop it up with you a little bit longer. But what do you think, man? What do you all got to do to 3P?
Well, I think that Veach went out and I think did exactly what we needed to do to start out the free agency with defense. We brought back Drew Tranquil, huge part to our linebacking core. So now essentially our linebacking core is good. You got Chris Jones back. I think you're definitely going to lose Snead, but he may come back and play on the tack. So your defense, I think, is pretty well going to be set. We still need another defensive end and maybe a defensive tackle. Bring back Pinnell, or even Derek Nottie. We can bring them guys back on a 1 or 2 year deal. No big deal. But the biggest part, I think everybody knows it, is going to be the offense. Who's Patrick going to be throwing the ball to? So you got Travis Kelce, you got Rashid Rice, you got Watson. I think those are your only real options right now at wide receiver. Moore's got some stuff that he's got to work on before he can come back and really make an impact, I think. But I think he can. He's just got some stuff he's got to work on, specifically dancing off the line before he gets into his break. Like the wide receiver group is going to be huge. We need to get somebody who's going to be able to stretch the field. Because that's what we were really missing last year, I think, aside from the drops, which was a huge part. But stretching the field, allowing Rice and Travis Kelce to work over the middle, working the zones and, letting them cook underneath. We need that. On top of that, running the ball, we got Pacheco, but right now we have nobody else behind him. So is McKinnon going to come back on a 1 year deal? Is Clyde going to come back on a 1 year deal? Or are we going to go out and grab one of these other guys? Like I said, I told you I liked Gibson. I like Zach Moss in this offense. He's a good pass protector. I think
Zach Moss signed, didn't he?
Did he?
I thought he did. I thought I saw that earlier. 3 year deal with somebody, but I don't know.
Well, I'm behind on that one then. Let me mark him off my list.
No,
So
no,
right
no,
now,
no, no. I could be wrong.
okay, I'll check it. I'll have to check it. So yeah, I mean, basically on my list, all the running backs that I wanted are gone, except for Clyde and Jerick McKinnon. So maybe we grab a running back in the 5th round, or so we got 2 5th-round picks. So maybe we'll look at that. So I think the
What about
biggest
Aaron Jones? I think he'll fit y'all perfectly.
he might. How much is he going to cost though?
I don't
Because
know.
we're only going to put a couple mil, 2 to 3 mil, 4 mil, maybe max in that backup running back. So
Got you.
and
Well,
we only have 2 tight ends right now. We need a 3rd tight end. Left tackle is a huge thing. Right now, we don't have a left tackle except for Wanya Morris, who started 4 games for us last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's huge. Do we bring back?
Oh man, the Patriots signing back Michael Uwe. That's what you signed, DT?
Really?
Yep,
Yeah.
3 $57 million, $38 million guaranteed.
Damn.
$22.5 million out of signing bonus.
Yeah. So see,
Commander
that's
just tweeted, anyone know the capital of Texas with the eyes emoji.
so. Yeah, I don't
Awesome.
know what we're gonna do at tackle right now. I mean, we got Donovan Smith. He can come back. You got Tyron Smith, older guy. Josh Jones maybe on a 2-year deal. Drafting a left tackle, but do we want to protect Patrick Mahomes with a rookie left tackle? So left tackle, I think, is just as important as the wide receivers right now. So they got to shore up the left tackle. They got to shore up the running back room a little bit and the wide receiver room. And I think the defense is pretty well set for next year. So that's about it for that.
I can't wait. The draft, like free agency, is fun. It's fun so far. I'm really enjoying free agency, but the draft is
Draft's where it's at.
crazy.
Yeah, the
Draft
where
gonna be crazy.
I did have Armstrong on my list. I know that was going to be an expensive get for us.
Javon, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, he said Maul's still out there, so
okay, perfect.
still
I'll leave
good to
him on my
go.
list.
Yep. All right, man. Ross, y'all got anything else? DT, Breeze.
So my question to you is, if you guys trade Snead, how are you comfortable with the corners you guys invested in, like guys like Joshua Williams, Watson. Those guys?
Najee Johnson.
Yeah.
Najee Johnson was talked about from Spags last year in camp before he got hurt as being a starter in that quarterback room, and he was a 7th-round pick. So I mean, I think we have some really good depth behind him. I think Watson could really step up and be a good corner there. I do still think we draft another cornerback maybe in the 5th round. We have 2 5ths, so maybe that 2nd, 5th, maybe we grab a cornerback. But yeah, I'm actually really comfortable with that. I mean, because you still have an all-pro on one side, right? And you got, I mean, you also got to think these cornerbacks that we have there, they've seen nothing but a Super Bowl. Because since we've drafted that back end, they've been in Super Bowls. So
that's true.
They're young,
nice.
they're experienced. I think we'll be fine. I mean, listen, you're going to give up Snead. He was one of the best corners last year in the league. He should have got all-pro. I think you're going to have some growing pains with these guys in there for, first couple of weeks, but I think we've got enough depth to deal with it.
Yeah, we in the building all night almost, yeah. Yeah, we definitely appreciate you coming through, Ross. Again, man, we're gonna reach out and have you join again later in the off season. You want to go ahead and plug your AM and your PM?
Yeah, well, we got the Arrowhead AM Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. Central. That's on X Space, so we do our spaces on there for Arrowhead AM. And then the Arrowhead PM is on Kingdom Cast. Like, share, and follow that one. And that's at 6 p.m. on Saturdays. And then during the season, we'll do it at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. So, yeah.
All right, man.
All
Definitely
Chiefs.
appreciate you coming through, buddy.
Appreciate you guys, man.
So, yes,
all
sir.
Right, we'll
appreciate
see you
it.
around.
All right. You guys have a good evening.
All right, you too, buddy. So, let me see what Z's got, man. It was like a nice little deal. 3-year, Did you say a DT? 3 year, 35, something like that?
I got
3 year, 34 million.
Yep.
Yeah, so I would. Yeah, I don't think we was paying 2 of those type contracts. Yeah, I like Willie Gay. I wouldn't mind Willie Gay. So yeah, y'all think we get another linebacker free agency, or we just kind of wait for the draft? Because we need a couple more probably.
I'm pretty sure they'll sign one more. Definitely draft one, in my opinion.
I
Yeah,
would love
probably
Bobby
both.
Wagner. Bobby Wagner would be nice. 183 tackles, but he plays middle. I don't know how that would work. So I'm definitely. If they do get Bobby Wagner, that's telling me that Frankie's gonna be all over the place.
The Patriots are re-signing Michael on whatever. He going back to Patriots. You. Yeah.
Oh, not only you tried to say his name, you didn't even finish it.
Listen.
Kind of racist.
All right, man. Let's bring up a friend of ours, Reggie. Reggie,
bro.
Bergen to Go podcast, Knucklehead podcast, Bergen to Go podcast. We got Reggie.
What's up, man? What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Good. How you feeling, man?
Man, I've been just been rushing around today, man. Kind of like how this free agency frenzy has been, man. Coming straight from work and trying to get in and join you boys, man. So I appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir.
Most definitely. Yeah, Z's went down there with D'Amico. That was my number one guy. He's gone down there with D'Amico, man. The tackle or the guard, dog tie, Michael Onwenu.
And I butchered his name. Onwenu. That's there. Deuce made up a whole nother name for that man.
Well, that's good. We ain't gotta say it anyway, so that's it for that.
Yeah, you right about
that. So far, Reggie, like, how do you like the approach to free agency so far?
Well, man, I like it. I like it a lot. It's a lot different than what we've had in the past. You know, we've always won the offseason, and that don't usually equate too well successfully on the field. And so let me just say this. I like what the ownership and the front office has been doing all season. They've been pretty quiet, and everything that they said they were going to do, they've done. You know, they said they weren't going to be very active in free agency, and building through the draft was the way that they were going to be. And so it kind of got off to a slow start, man. But each guy that they've brought on thus far seemed to be very specific to what they're trying to do here. So I like it. I like it a lot. And right before I was getting ready to come on, I got the alert that we had signed Ekeler, and that was like the big name so far, you know, that we signed. So I like it. I like what they're doing so far. They went out and got a center, went out and got a linebacker, went out and got a DN, right? And then I'm pretty sure you guys have already talked about it, but Austin Ekeler is I think what they had envisioned Antonio Gibson to look like in our offense, and I think that's what he's going to be in Cliff's system. And he's an upgrade, man. I mean, and I like AG. So no, not throwing no shade on AG from that perspective, but man, Austin Ekeler, I think in our offense, and we're not going to ask him to be an every down back either. I like it. I like it a lot.
Hey, D'Angelo, calm down, bro. I think this is your first time commenting. We definitely appreciate you coming through. We just chopping up with some fans, man. D'Angelo, like, man, why you got these bums? Oh man, D'Angelo, like, nah, man.
Gotta spread the wealth, baby.
Yeah, man. Spread the wealth, man. Oh, breaking news. I don't know if it's breaking. It says circulating that the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, they supposed to wear headgear.
I bet.
For what?
Because Jake Paul want to.
Jake Paul probably saw them video clips. He was like, nah.
Jake Paul want to wake up the next morning.
Come on, man.
Oh man, but you're right. Like Austin Ekeler is, like Austin Ekeler is probably the household name. Frankie sign that has sent shockwaves because of the fact that like he was good. Like the Panthers, a couple of our guys, Trail, Crum, and some other guys that got ties down there in group chats with Carolina fans, and they are upset. Like they are mad that he's gone. So
Okay.
and it's like it's a story behind him and all this other good stuff. So I can't wait to get into some film on him. But he was one of my guys, one of my 17 that I thought would be good here. If we missed out on Aziz, we definitely missed out on him. But
So
that's a whole different story.
So do we think he's going to play the Mike linebacker?
Yeah, he's been
I would
playing Mike
imagine so.
last 6
Okay.
years. He played it with the Jets, and he's played it with the Cardinals. So I definitely think we finally have. Even the Cowboys are upset. They like, oh, now Dan Quinn want to get a linebacker.
Oh, they always upset about something, man. So I'm not worried about the cats, man.
Nobody worry about them, man.
Yeah. And
Oh,
DT
man.
and Breeze, man, you know, we down here in Dallas, so we hear it all the time.
Oh, I know.
So
I'm
yeah,
sorry
I ain't
for
worried
you.
about them.
Y'all, Riri, I'm sorry for y'all. I really am.
So, like, what else, like, and anyone else on you have a free agent list? You have some guys that you want us to go out and try to sign?
You know, for me, I don't know if it's as much about the individual, because I know it comes down to money, right? And you know, like you saw that contract that Burns got. You know, he was a guy that I think many of us wanted, but at $30 million a year, man, at this point, year one of this organization and the front office, man, that might be a little bit too rich for my blood. So for me, it's more or less probably position that we need, and a little bit less about the name, because what they talked about is trying to find guys that's going to fit the system and seeing what they can do with some of these guys and put them in position to make plays. And sometimes, man, they've had a lot of success. Adam Peters picking late round guys in San Francisco, and then Dan Quinn doing things with guys that were drafted late, including the homeboy they got from Dallas, the DN, right? This guy, I think, was a 4th round pick. So they've shown the ability to get great talent in the later rounds, the drafts, and even through free agency. So I'm not really pining for these guys to go and get all the big names on day one of free agency, man. So build some depth and build some quality guys that are just hungry.
Of course, Gibby is gone. You kind of mentioned him, but it's still some guys, of course, like the Casey Hill, the JSW, even Lucas. Like those guys probably already signed. Like we'll probably hear about them on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I doubt if they go anywhere else. But what about what's your feel on Curtis, Fuller, and Curl?
Where do I start? Well, let me just start with probably the lightning rod, which is Curl, right? Man, I like Cam Curl, I really do. But at the end of the day, man, this is a business, right? And unlucky for him, the safety market got flooded quick.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, man, I mean, it's about making plays. And that's not to say that Cam's not a good ball player, because he really is. I mean, 2 years ago, I would have told you, man, sign that man right away. But he had a down year last year. And I don't know if that has something to do with Del Rio and the system, or missing Defoe in the bag. I don't know what happened, but you know, the performance fell off a little bit last year. And so there's a lot of guys on the market, man, that is an upgrade. Just like Ekeler would be an upgrade for us over Gibby. I think there are some safeties out there that would be an upgrade over Cam. And so if we trying to win, man, hey, it's nothing personal. You know, it's business. And I don't think they were ever going to pay him that 15, 16 mil a year range. And if that's what he wanted to get, that's not where we are right now. And so I was cool with letting him walk. Curtis Samuel, man, we need a guy with his skill set, right? But we've not been able to seem to maximize the talent. It's like we got too many. There's not enough balls to go around for some reason, and someone always seems to get left out. And so, if we expecting Jahan Dotson to have a bounce back year and feast next year, do we need to pay a guy of his caliber? I don't know, but I sure as hell like the talent. But I can't blame him if he doesn't want to come back here.
That's the thing with with Curtis. To see D'Angelo say, man, we need O-line, D-line, linebackers. That's it. Yeah, I think we definitely need a couple more linebackers. I think the D-line may be good. I think we might need to pick up a couple edges. And I'm specifically talking about like the 53 and this depth, because of course we're going to sign more players we got to get to that 90-man roster. But it was a couple good signings. Not a high sack guy. Deep, who is he? I'm not sure who he's talking about.
I believe he's talking about
not yet, D'Angelo. He's still a free agent, so he hasn't signed with nobody. Shout out to Breeze for letting my alma mater live after crazy law. I must fully expect to get paid. It's probably on Spat Track. I think last I looked was like 9-10 million. I think so.
I'd pay that for Fuller though.
Let me see what it is. But while I look for this, like DT, who else? Like when you think about Curtis Samuel, who else in the league gives you that? Like we talk about the Debo role, Curtis Samuel. Like it's not too many guys that can, like, because even now the first person usually always misses, right? He can still, he still has that phone booth type of first step, So how many players is that weapon like him in the league that does that specifically?
It's very rare. I can probably name about really, to me, in my opinion, only 4 guys: Debo, Curtis, Laviska Shenault, and Lynn Bolden. Those are really the guys I can think of that can really do those type of things. Running the football, catching it, just having the ball in space.
Lynn Bolden. That's a deep cut. Oh, he a Kentucky dude, so you know what I'm saying. I know.
That's why he does. But overall, I think the problem with us is like to Reggie's point, like we didn't utilize him as much. Probably his best year was with EB because we wasn't even targeting Terry, or we wasn't even targeting Jahan, and he was our best third down guy. He was our best playmaker majority of the games at times. So, like, again, I would love to have Curtis back to have some continuity for the new quarterback and stuff, but with the wide receiver position just constantly growing with the NFL draft with 7-on-7, I could see Washington dipping in the draft, getting a high guy, like maybe an AD Mitchell or a Corley, somebody that can help in the passing game other than just try to spend money there.
Yeah,
and I suspect that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to let Curtis walk and then draft a guy and replace him.
Curtis is another guy that his versatility kind of hurts him with this new regime. Because you're not really sure where he really fits in your offense. Like you could use him like that Swiss Army knife. I know people love to use Debo as like the comp for Curtis Samuel, although they're not exactly an apples to apples comparison. But I think when you talk about bringing Curtis back, for one, like Curtis's biggest leverage is, familiarity with the offense doesn't matter because he hasn't played in this offense. He has familiarity with his teammates, but not necessarily the offense. But it's like, what do you have behind me? And then you're talking about, like you know what I can do. What do you have behind me? Like you talking about, Diami, Pringle, Kaz Allen, Tinsley, like those guys. Is like not really much reason to have much faith in anybody behind Curtis Samuel. But then when you talk about Curtis's potential usage, is like where do you view Jahan at? Because while Jahan can probably be a Z receiver and make some stuff shake, Terry's probably best suited at Z, although he plays the X for the most part here. And then, like, a lot of us figured Jahan could probably be more dangerous and best used in the slot, which is where Curtis typically lines up at. So it's like, Like, do you take Curtis and you take Curtis and you kind of playing Jahan outside of his best usage, or do you put Jahan in the slot and you find somebody else, maybe even on a rookie or a rookie deal, and put him on the outside. And now you got Curtis and like it's you know what I mean. So his usage, his projected usage is going value is a big deal when you talk about what his value is to this team.
In the immediate need, everybody, at least myself, we want Curtis, right? Because there's talent.
Mm.
If you're looking today and long term, it might not be a bad idea to move Jahan into the slot, draft a guy, because the thing that we talk about is we all love Terry, man, but Terry's up there in age, right?
Yeah, he'll be what 30 this season.
Yeah, so if you go ahead and draft a guy, and he could be your third option right now, but in a couple of years, him and Jahan could end up being your 1 and 2 guy, or some guy that they've drafted over the next couple of years. But you have to prepare and have the pipeline ready for as these guys, whether it's a contract due, injury, or even the age, right?
Yeah, I don't remember who it was last week on here. I don't know if it was DT or Ceelo, but one of them said, receiver, which is true. The receiver is kind of one of those positions where you always constantly gotta have that next guy up because it's literally by nature of what the position is. It's always a revolving door. And like right now, our best receiver is Terry. Not only is he getting up there in age for a receiver, tier 1 receiver, but his contract is due up at the end of next season. 2025. Like there's technically. Who we got a little fact?
Yeah, no,
it was a Seattle.
I was about to say. But like if I believe I saw correctly, like there's technically a void. Like you can void Terry's contract. I don't think they'll do it, but I believe next season, 2025, next season could be a void. You could void that year out of Terry's contract, and if that happens, then you don't bring Curtis back. You're looking at after this season, Jahan is really your only legitimate receiver under contract as it currently stands. So you got it. Like receivers want definitely a position where you got to look to the future at all times and always constantly have that next guy kind of like you said, that pipeline or that lineage or whatever ready to roll.
Yeah, for sure.
So Bills just gave Josh Allen just over $20 million of converted salary into a signing bonus and cleared $16 million in cap space.
Damn.
Who did this?
The Bills.
Josh Allen.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. Fant 2 years, $21 million to the Seattle, which is interesting. We're obviously in the draft, but I know this offense puts together good numbers already. It's our defense that needs some milk. I mean, we just don't know, man. Nah, we don't want him. That dude played 13 games.
No. I'm good about that.
We don't want him dead.
I'm almost positive they're going to draft him. I don't know where. I think it could be as high as early as the second round, or it could be as late as.
Yeah, if you're messing up my algorithm.
But I think they're definitely going to draft a receiver again, just because you have to kind of have your future lined up at that position at all times. And most teams keep 5 to 6 of them. Yeah, Diami's probably cool. Like,
hold on, Simple. How you go to a coach, Simple? You coaching with CJ, Simple probably coaching with CJ.
That's gonna be
time to move on. That's right, OG.
But if Diami don't come to training camp and ball out, like play the best football of his professional football career, he's probably not gonna be on the roster. Yeah, and I like Diami. Like I like Diami, but
so why haven't we seen it? Why haven't we seen it?
What's up, Levin? Appreciate Diami. I don't know. I appreciate you joining the pod. I think it's your first time commenting. Definitely subscribe to the channel. To your bottom right, you should see a little thumbnail. You can hit that, subscribe to the podcast. Definitely appreciate you for coming through. I don't like dude might not make the roster this year, man.
I mean, we talking about Brown. We talking about Diami, right?
Diami, yeah. Like he's fast. He can jump. Where Diami falls short at is Diami's not a great route runner, which means he pretty much tries to rely on his speed, which is not elite at the NFL level, to create separation. And he has shown he doesn't have the best hands. Like he can catch the ball, he can high point the ball, but he's not just a natural great pass catcher. So while he did a lot of great things at UNC, that has expired at this point. Absolutely. And like Mayo just said it in the comments, like Diami's a one-trick pony. He's a deep threat right now. He's Aldrick Robinson right now. Like
he can't do that well.
Exactly. Like he's a deep threat without elite speed.
Bro, how people in the comments slandering Noah Fant? Y'all talking about De'Ami Brown, bro? Get out.
And I don't know whose comment that was, but they said we need a big 6'3" receiver or better. I disagree. Like I think that people overvalue the size at the receiver position. People always want a 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" guy, which is great if you can find one that is functional.
That can produce,
yeah. But like we had Kelvin Harmon, and we had Maurice Harris, and we had these big tall. Like just being big is not enough. Like you have to be able to be big, be fluid, run right. And I'm getting deeper into it, but run routes. Like you have to be able to actually be a functional wide receiver.
Yeah. Well, I'm just to the point where we're drafting guys and trying to develop them to the point where we're doing experiments, right? Which is why I was okay with them letting Antonio Gibson go. We've been waiting on De'Ami Brown to flourish and show us something, man. And it's like, I'm not quick to cut guys loose, and because not everyone develops at the same rate, which I understand. But at this point, man, it's time to put up or shut up kind of deal. And for me, with De'Ami Brown, I wish him the best, man. But draft a couple guys at this point. I don't care.
You know what De'Ami Brown reminds me of? Is a guy who, and we've all seen them at different levels, is a guy who was able to get by on natural ability for so long. And his natural ability got him to
the league,
to the NFL, and he got to the NFL. That wasn't enough anymore. Where when you're in high school and college, you can be fast and run past people, and your inability to just be a technical route runner isn't as important. But when you get to the league, you have to be able to actually run routes and function with that speed. And we've all seen guys that are super fast but aren't great football players.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what De'Ami reminds me of, is just somebody that relied so much on that thing, and it got him by, and he got to the league, and those things, Cam Sims too, those things weren't developed. And now he's struggling because he cannot rely on that one thing. These UFL stuff are crazy.
Which might be an unpopular opinion. That's why I don't get real hyped up about the 40-yard dash, man. You see some of these guys get hyped up about that.
Man, you talking about language?
I'm like, I don't care, man. Like when he put them pass on, can he break down somebody? Can he run a route and get separation? I mean, that's not that's not football speed, but anyway, I mean, I'm going to get off on that, but that's why to your point, Breeze, is you got to be able to do more when you get to that level of NFL, man. You can't just be able to run fast, right?
Yeah, most definitely. What's up, Antoine? I think it's your first time coming. We definitely appreciate you coming through, man. Continue to come through. O-line of the so Reggie.
What's up, man?
Hold on, what that was. Hold on a second. A loud noise.
They over there breaking stuff up in Deuce's house, man.
Kids doing the doors or whatever, make all this noise. All right, so before we let you go, man, I mean, quarterback, where you at? Who's your guy? Who you want? Are you a left tackle at 2 guy? So I can just drop you out the chat, or trade back guy? What are you?
Woo, man, I think they should go and get at number 2. Probably should go and get that long snapper at 2.
Hey man,
somebody for the day you for real in here, man.
No, I'm just kidding, y'all. Man, let me just say this. At number 2, I think we're gonna get a quarterback no matter what, and there's negative about each one of these top 3 guys, man. But if I'm forced to choose one, I'm probably going to say let's go with Jayden Daniels. And just simply because I think Jayden Daniels is more of what the NFL quarterbacks look like and able to do in today's NFL. And with the fact that we have 4 former quarterbacks just in the offensive room alone, if you got a quarterback that needs a little bit of work, this is the best year, I think, to bring him to Washington. In years past, we might have had some guys that we come in and we didn't have the good staff to kind of work with them. But with Pritchard and David Bow, Kingsbury, and my guy that came from Philly, all former quarterbacks, man. Yeah, without even talking to Dan Quinn, this guy's got, whoever they draft got 4 people that he can go and talk to and work with him on a day-to-day to improve at the NFL level. And if that staff can't identify a future quarterback in this league, then we were doomed to just fail no matter what, man. I mean, because they're going to all give their input on picking a quarterback. So I feel good about whoever they pick. They must feel like that kid can play. But in my case, I'm going to pick Jake Daniels just because of the extra athleticism. I don't want people to think that I'm not saying Drake May's not athletic, but Jake Daniels got a little bit extra speed to that athleticism. So, but before I go, where you boys stand on that? Who you got at number 2?
Yeah, with JD for sure. For me,
all you guys got JD.
Well, I do, but I ain't mad at any 3 of them. I think they all can work in the Cliff offense.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if we stay at 2 and assuming Caleb is the first pick, and it flip flops weekly at this point, daily. But I'm leaning more toward Jaden right now. Like as we currently speak, I'm leaning more toward Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. What you did?
Yeah. So I'm like Deuce. I like all 3, but obviously it's more likely going to be 2 at that spot. I think the biggest thing to me between Jada Daniels and Drake May is whose style is likely to win a Super Bowl for your franchise. Is it a guy that, like a Patrick Mahomes, he's able to throw out the pocket in structure and only run when necessary, or the game-changing athlete at the quarterback position that can throw from the pocket like Lamar Jackson? It's kind of the flavor you choose. But I think right now, with looking at the tape this year, I think they'll probably go with Jada Daniels, but I wouldn't be shocked if they go with Drake May based on prospect fatigue.
Yeah, but I'm also with Deuce though. I'm fine with any of the 3. Like there's nobody where like as long as that's the thought process, as long as it's one of those 3 guys. Again, assuming they stay at 2. I'm not gonna be like, oh man, they should have picked. Like, nah, I'm cool with whoever.
Yeah. I've been saying the whole time, man. Listen, I'm all in on Adam Peters and his staff, and
Sure.
at this point, man, they get a free pass from me. So whatever they do, even if they go left tackle at 2, Deuce, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna lean back. I'm gonna cheer a little bit, but I'm gonna say, okay, maybe they know something.
I'm gonna need a day. I'm just gonna need a day. I'm gonna need a day.
But at the end of the day, I trust them, right? So I'm like, maybe they know something. Maybe they know something because it is what it is. So they know they got to get it right. Just like the fans expect them to get this right. I think they know the pressure is on them, man, to kind of start this thing off right. And whatever they do, whoever they pick, I'm gonna roll with. I'm gonna support it. And because, like I said, I think our staff is gonna give that young quarterback, the best chance to be successful in the league, man. So I'm cool with it.
My man Jay, you want to know when you get that poster is pretty it's pretty known. I've seen it a few times.
Yeah.
And you could print it out too. I think I had it for I used it as a thumbnail one time. I think all teams have that thing. But where'd you get it from?
I think, man, I've had it for a minute, but I think I got it off of Amazon, and then when you get it, is that Javon? Is that how you say it? When you get it, it's just gonna come in the poster, man. So I had to buy a frame to frame it up and do it like that. So it'll just come as a poster rolled up and everything. But I think I got it off of Amazon, man.
Cool, appreciate that. All right, man, go ahead, plug in the pod. Plug in your co-hosts.
Yeah. My boy Ken, he's on vacation and everything, but you guys can look us up on Burgundy and Gold Knuckleheads podcast. That's our logo on everything. We try to be consistent with it. So we have a YouTube channel. Just search us, Burgundy and Gold Knuckleheads. We're on Twitter at the Knuckleheads, and we're on all streaming platforms, man. We're on Apple, wherever you get your platform, Apple, Audacity, Spotify, all of it, man. So come to Spotify. So listen, so come check us out, man. We got.
I was like, is that an upgrade subscription? I was like, is that an upgrade subscription? Spotify.
No, Spotify. So yeah, man, come check us out, man. We have some good times on there, good laughs.
Definitely appreciate you coming through, Reggie, man.
Absolutely,
For
man.
sure.
We'll do it again. You boys be good.
All right,
So
most
you too,
definitely.
be safe out there.
Peace out,
All
man.
right.
What's up, Telly?
I'm about to say, Big Tally, what's good with you, brother?
Superstar Telly. Are we waiting for somebody at 8? They ain't come through yet. Right up to you, man.
Yeah. I got time.
He needs steak and potatoes and weight room. Who they talking about? I'm talking about Jaden Daniels
Jaden
or
Daniels.
Forbes. One of them.
No, they talking about Dave.
Hey, but they'll put some weight on him.
Yeah,
I mean,
he needs to like that. Like, I don't really have a problem with his weight. It's just his muscle index. Like, when you look at Lamar and you looked at RG3 when they came out, like, they were strong. Like, they had index. Like, this dude don't be in the weight room. Like, he need to get in the weight room. Yeah.
Were they strong or were they more cut up though? Because
No, they were like cut up. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
like-
difference, but still, it's a regime. Like, you work out. You know what I'm saying? You take care of your body a little more. Like, that dude don't he do nothing but cardio.
Hey, look, man. When they graded all the teams and the staff, we got an A for strength and condition. Don't worry, man. They'll put some weight on him if they.
That's the only thing we got.
Hey, take it for what it is, man. So hey, he's gonna be coming into a good spot where they'll feed him. They'll put some weight on him.
They just got a new health something dude too. I forget his name, but I forget his name, his actual title. But they did just bring somebody else into the like the health department or whatever.
There you go, Deuce. Problem solved.
We definitely would see that man built like a slinky. It's crazy.
So, what was you guys' thoughts on Austin Ekeler? Right? Since I came in a little bit late there.
I'm cool with it. I mean, it's a good contract. I'm cool with it. You know, but prior they signed him as we were live. So prior to them signing him, I said I would probably prefer to draft a rookie in the kind of middle round range.
Okay.
Over signing him just cost and age wise. But I'm fine with it. After seeing the contract, I'm fine with it. And again, he's a good and productive player, so I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, for sure.
And Tally said he's gonna be disappointed they drafted me.
You know.
How long, Tally? A day, 2 days, 2 weeks? Oh yeah, finally. Thank you everyone for we definitely welcome on the Huddle podcast. I'm Deuce. We can finally get the pod started. We got Mo in the building. Mo is here now, so we can get the pod started, man. Appreciate you, Mo. About time. You late, man. You made us late. 2 hours. My printer at work only do black and white. Well, you ain't gonna be able to print that out. Oh man, look at Tally, man. Oh my gosh. Oh,
hey man.
Yeah, Knucklehead Podcast. But I think what's the actual name, the search name in YouTube?
Yeah, Burgundy
and Gold. Yeah, Burgundy and Gold Podcast. D'Angelo. Me too, Tally. He's number 2. No, he's number 3. Number 3 on my top 5. Calvin Ridley, little Calvin Ridley, man. Whole slinky.
So what kind of contract Calvin Ridley's gonna
I don't know. Let me see what the spot track is.
Let's have the Maurice.
Let me see what the spot track is for Calvin Ridley. Get to these comments. Let me see. I'll talk to Lamar how he gained his. Where's J Pro Day? Actually, they posted the NCAA Pro Days earlier today. I don't know if I got to see if I saved it, but they did post them.
So you're saying you want Calvin Ridley over Curtis Samuel?
I would take both of them. I think Curtis Samuel, Calvin really doesn't do what Curtis Samuel does, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Calvin really is more like Jahan and Terry. I think he's the better route runner out the 3. He can get separation. Yeah, Calvin really 4 years, 70 million, 17 and a half.
March 27th is pro day.
March 27th. There you go. Glenn said he's gonna be disappointed. My algorithm. They said Darren's a film junkie. Yeah, that's what I heard that too, Garage. They was like he was a film junkie and he was always watching film. I don't know about that, yeah.
Let's do it. I like it.
I have to walk around the block a few times.
Is that for a tackle or for me? Glenn?
Probably both. Like it's both for real. What's up, Steve? Glad you could join us, man. Oh man, if we draft May, I'm gonna be punching air. Like I said, regardless, that's my quarterback. Yeah,
We're gonna have to support him, man. We're gonna have to support him.
He says Rick Talley. That's funny. Kirk going to Atlanta. I mean, what you think about that deal, Reggie? Kirk in Atlanta.
Man, I need to talk to some of Kirk's people. Because I tell you what, man, that dude, whoo, man, the contracts he's able to finagle is something special, man. They should be doing an autopsy on how he's able to negotiate these contracts, man. Because listen, I was not a big Kirk fan, so I don't want to sit here and just hate on the guy, but I was never a big Kirk fan to begin with. But he's productive. If you got him in fantasy, man, he'll get you some points,
Oh, he gonna get the numbers.
Yeah, and I might be looking at him next year since he's gonna be in Atlanta. But man, 150 million? 100 guaranteed, like that?
Yeah, it's 100 guaranteed. Because he get 90 this year and then 10 in like 2026 or something like that. Like to guarantee,
it's like an out after the second year.
He's a 35-year-old quarterback coming off a torn Achilles that respectfully hasn't won nothing.
Exactly. But yet he's able to get 84 million guaranteed. Yeah. Then he got the second contract from Minnesota. I forgot, I think it was like 60 million. And then Atlanta just gave him 100 mil guaranteed, right?
Yeah, he made over 400, almost close to $500 million.
Yeah, and he got what? He got what? About 40 out of us before he even went to Minnesota.
It was more than 40 because he get a rookie deal, and then he got us for 2 franchise years.
Yeah, the 2 franchise.
So yeah, it's like 4. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
I'm like,
his rookie deal didn't have that much guarantee.
Yeah, that's true, Timothy. I ain't arguing with that.
Yeah, no,
but the bar is low.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
It is.
Right, it ain't hard to be the best we've ever had.
But I mean, he's been top 12, 15 in the league, like 12, 15 in the league.
Look, man, look.
But
when you playing from behind and you just throwing and you be able to pad the stats and do all of that, of course your numbers look good. I mean, hell, look no further than Sam Howell, right? Right?
Actually, that's
Sam
what
was
Nathan is.
But Sam was top. He was like top 3 in the league, right? Stat wise. But he was throwing 60 times a game. So you got to look behind the numbers a little bit. And Kirk was playing from behind a lot in Minnesota. But good for Atlanta, man. Good for Atlanta. Old boy Kyle Smith down there. Negotiate the deal. But I will say, just like the safety market for Cam Curl has gotten a little diluted, the quarterback market for Justin Fields, boy, that's shrinking quick.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. They might be keeping him though. A lot of our fans want them to keep him to trade him up. So, but Nathan, I got no, this is not your first time. He say Nathan want running back with Sam, man. I ain't mad.
And do what it takes. Oh, grab my And just for the sake of conversation, what if it doesn't work? Then we still need a quarterback with a far worse class next year.
D'Angelo, wow.
Well, listen, I know this might be an unpopular opinion, man. I wouldn't hate it if they use Kirk. I mean, just simply begin because I think Ron and his staff, I think, should be investigated for a little malpractice on a lot of players. And whatever they did when EB came here and dropping that guy back, man, behind that old line, somebody should be charged for that. But at the end of the day, if they come here and build this thing the right way, the way we all think Adam Peters and Dan Quinn is going to do, how could Kirk look? I mean, how would Sam look behind an improved O-line?
The only
Man, we at
reason
number 2. As long as we stay at number 2, we don't need to find out.
the only reason that's the point. Like the only reason that I think most people are so gung ho on quarterback is you have a opportunity without trading anywhere to get one of the top 3 quarterbacks in this draft that most people have very high grades on and figure all could be like without Caleb Williams in this year's draft, Drake May and Jay Daniels are 1A, 1B for the first overall pick to a lot of people, right? So when you have an opportunity to get a quarterback of that caliber, especially when you talk about us, which how many times we've whiffed and missed in every possible way.
Correct.
We've signed free agents, we've traded for people, we've drafted dudes early, we've drafted dudes middle, we've drafted dudes late. It has not worked.
Has not worked.
An opportunity to get a player that's projected to be of a very high caliber at the most premium position in football. The idea of passing on that player for anybody, even if it is a generational wide receiver, Marvin Harrison, a left tackle, I get it. Those are also premium positions that sound great, but we got to fix this thing here first.
Oh, for sure.
If this thing here is not working, then all of that stuff out there is irrelevant.
But let me ask you this though. But let me ask you this though, and I don't disagree with what you're saying. And I only said I would be okay running it back if they chose to do that. But ideally, I think they should draft a quarterback at number 2. But having these grades on these quarterbacks and stuff, I mean, man, you can just look over the past few drafts that there were some guys in there who were supposed to be good quarterbacks who could be franchise quarterbacks. Zach Wilson, Josh Rosen, and these guys to name a few. So just because they're graded high doesn't mean that picking a guy at number 2, 3, or 4 is going to pan out. And so, I mean, hell, even Tua, people were questioning Tua
with the hip and all that
prior to the Cheetah getting down there. Right? All of a sudden, Mike McDaniel and Cheetah comes to town, and all of a sudden, Tua's a Pro Bowl quarterback. But prior to that, man, they was questioning about whether or not they need to get that dude out of Miami. So obviously, you need help around the quarterback. I mean, look at Trevor Lawrence. Look what happened prior to him getting some help. Look what's happening out there in LA with the Chargers. But I'm advocating with you. I'm on your side here. I'm saying we need to pick a quarterback at number 2. But even if we do that, guy can still wash out, man, not be the real deal.
Yeah. I mean, like quarterback, while quarterback is the most premium position almost outside of maybe like a starting pitcher, and maybe not even that, like quarterback is probably the most premium position in all sports, but it's also probably the most dependent position in all sports as well.
Absolutely.
Depending on O-line, coaching, receiver, like all of this stuff has to work to some extent for this quarterback to work out. And statistically, numbers show that even when you just talk about the top 3 guys, one of them 3 is not going to work out. Like
statistics tells you only one may work out.
Right. Like numbers tell you that. I'm trying my best to stay away from that because I'm well aware of it. Right. Like I've even said it on the podcast. Like numbers show that at least one of these guys is not going to work out. Now, which one we don't know. Like we could, 5 years from now, Michael Penix could be the best quarterback from the draft. Like we just don't know. If it was an exact science, there would be no need for this entire process.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like Tom Brady is viewed by 98% of the world as the best, one of them as the greatest quarterback ever. He was a 6th-round pick.
Well, New England passed over him several times.
Exactly, and the only reason he played is because the starting quarterback got hurt.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Like, and we've seen that story plenty of times with other teams, from Dak Prescott, Tony Romo, and plenty of other guys in other places. But at face value, you have to go with what the projection is before you can get them on the field.
Oh, for sure.
It's just a safer bet that you sitting at number 2. Everybody who declared for the draft, with the exception of one person, is going to be available to be picked by you.
BT, I'm about to go. My bad, Bree. I'm about to go check on these contracts right quick.
If you could evaluate that quarterback position, and you find a guy that you feel like can be that guy, you take him. Now, if you don't hit, you don't hit. But
you got to take a swing at it,
right?
Oh, and I go ahead.
No, go.
No, I was just gonna say, and I completely agree, man. But you said that one of the 3 won't work. I said that probably only one of the 3 is gonna actually work, because that's just the way it is trying to pick quarterbacks in the NFL draft, because it is one of the hardest positions to project in the NFL, and we all know it, right? And even when people start talking about, the top 10 quarterbacks, at the end of the day, it's probably really only the top 5 that are really can get that are elite, that can carry a team. And some of these guys, they're great, and they can do a lot of good things, but they can't carry a team. But then there's a very few, as DT said, that are elite, that can carry the team no matter what's going on around them. And so, yeah, I think only one of these 3 is going to actually pan out, and I just hope we pick the one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you look at it like 3, 5 years from, let's say 5 years from now, and you look back at this draft and you're looking at who, now that they're all playing, who are the top 3 quarterbacks from the 2024 draft? One of those top 3 guys is going to be somebody who wasn't picked in the first round.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to be a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick. Like, that's just it is what it is. Like, half the starting quarterbacks in the league were not first round picks. Probably more than half the starting quarterbacks in the league were first round picks.
Yeah.
So, but again, you got to find your guy and hope that your guy is the one that we hit on. And part of that is pairing your guy with your offensive system and making sure that's the actual fit. And not just be like, oh, well, he was great in college, we're going to get him and make him do whatever we kept. Like, nah, the fit matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I do not agree. You at least agree you have a quarterback competition too. No, when you draft a guy too, he is the starter. He is the starter most definitely. And I definitely see both sides of the argument. And the one thing that say with the transition from college football to the NFL, that's why it's so hard to project, because a lot of these former quarterbacks and stuff, they see what's going on with the offense and stuff, a little bit simple, but then you get to the NFL, it's far more complex with coverages and play calls and things like that. You can't do the same stuff like you do in college. So you have to go by like the subtle things like anticipatory throw. How many anticipatory throws are you actually making in NFL? Or you're just waiting for a guy to be absolutely open? Or footwork. Footwork has been a big thing. A lot of these guys, they haven't played under center as much. Everything is shotgun or pistol. They don't know how to get the ball under center. They don't know how to turn around when they're doing play action and looking back behind
defenses.
Like, all that stuff is so important, man. And I think the wild thing about it, when you look at these 3 guys, they all are like the 3 unicorns that we see in the NFL right now. That's Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. They both have those similar things to the guys that everybody kind of comps to. But you also see some of the flaws. Everybody talk about Caleb Williams, very talented player, but, he plays hero ball a lot. Kind of people wonder about, can he play in structure consistently? Drake May, prototypical, everybody, the prototype quarterback that you want. 6'4", 230, tall Boy Scout, but footwork been inconsistent up and down his play. And Jaden Daniels, everybody talks about the weight. And, the 1-year wonder thing, which I don't believe that was a 1-year thing. I think he had actually 2 good years in college. But it's all about picking your guy, and you just having the best plan for them to be successful. And if it don't work out, go ahead.
No, go ahead, DT. My bad.
I was just saying, just having the best plan for these guys that you pick, because at the end of the day, it's no Dan Snyder here. It's Peters, it's Dan Quinn, and it's Cliff Kingsbury and his crew. They're deciding, hey, this is the guy we want to pick at number 2, and we're going to have a plan for him.
Yeah, and I'm not as concerned about the weight for Jake Daniels, just simply because, again, once they get these guys in the building, man, they'll work on him doing all that, and then you throw in the fact that you can't barely touch these quarterbacks in today's NFL. So between those 2, I think that'll work itself out. He'll look a little bit different in a few years than he does his rookie year. I mean, just to throw a little basketball reference in there, look at the Greek Freak. You look at him when he first got drafted, and you look at him now, Steph Curry before compared to now. So they'll put weight and get that kid going. I'm not worried about that. What I don't like, though, is people say, well, he only had 1 good year. And it's like, he did what you would expect a player to do. He went to college, and he got better as time went on, right? Isn't that what's supposed to happen? Isn't he supposed to progress and get better as time goes on?
To me, that's a coachable football player.
Absolutely. That shows a guy that got in the lab, man, and started doing what he was supposed to do to help himself get better. And so So by him doing that, I don't want to use that as a knock on him, man. But I know some people use that as a knock. So
okay, Brissett.
Oh yeah, he's gonna teach the young guy. They're gonna let the young guy sit behind and watch.
I mean, his old teammate is head coach now. Like,
but I wonder what that looks like though. Is that a trade up, or is that a trade down, or are they staying pat?
For New England,
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I think that's
if I'm the Patriots, I would trade back. I think they got just how for who?
Yeah, how far for who? They got to get a quarterback.
Yeah, but they don't have nothing, bro. Like I know we have holes and everybody talk about it, but at least we have some type of substance. You cannot name me nobody on the Patriots roster that you feel like it's like, okay, this is something I can truly build with. And that roster has been damaged by bad drafting, bad investment of free agency. Like,
so is Gibson about to go?
I would take JJ.
So is Gibson about to go up there and get lost like Zeke did?
No, I think it's a different player.
Okay.
You know.
I mean, it's different. They say it's different here. Man, I don't know. That team, I mean, that team is not that good, man. And okay, I mean, listen, I hope Gibson do well, man. I root for guys like that, except for Alfred Morris going to Dallas. That's the only time I didn't root for him. So I'm rooting for Gibson going to New England, but
D'Angelo, where you at? He said he watching NBC Sports Boston. He live up there or something?
Yeah, he's talking about the defense, but man, that offense.
Yeah, they got a couple pieces on defense.
Yeah,
but offense is. I mean, they just re-signed Kendrick Bourne, but
Gibson can get up there and he'll be like, "Damn."
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. But
yeah,
y'all remember last season where it was like, bro, if we keep playing Brissett, he gonna mess around and win some games that we don't really want him winning. If you New England and you ride with Jacoby Brissett, although that team is gonna be bad next season, as far as I can tell, they're gonna be bad with or without Jacoby starting. Like if you mess around and start Jacoby, yeah,
that's what I'm saying, man. I think this means they're gonna draft a guy and let him sit.
Yeah, I think that's which to me would be trading back. If you pick a guy at 3, you can't sit him behind Jacoby. I don't think you can sit him behind Jacoby Brissett. Like you can't. If they draft Drake May, let's say that the draft falls like that, and the Patriots draft Drake May. I don't think you can go into the season and sit him behind Jacoby Brissett.
You don't think so?
Like with what I mean, they can for sure. They can, and it may even be in everybody's best interest.
1 year, $8.
But
how much?
Yeah, like
$8 million. 1 year, $8 million.
Took a step back.
Damn.
We made 12 last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going the wrong way.
Yeah, so he took a step back.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's probably trying to go somewhere.
But this is probably one of the only opportunities he got to start. Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
If that,
he's trying to be like Baker.
I think he's trying to be like Geno. But I think Jacoby is a guy that's like kind of aware of who and what he is and where his career is at. There's nobody that's at this point that's signing Jacoby Brissett to be a long-term starter. He's going to be a bridge or stopgap guy at best, and a guy that's going to be used to help kind of develop the young guy for the future. That's just kind of what he is right now.
Hey man, be like Josh McCown, man. Just sit around there and just collecting checks.
Or that.
If they get Drake May, like it depends what not Antonio, the other black guy. What Mayo come out and say?
Gerard Mayo.
Yeah, like if he come out like, look, he gonna sit. This is how he's gonna sit and he's gonna learn behind Jacoby.
Yeah, and
It
I mean,
wouldn't be the
fans may
worst
not like
thing.
it, but we know
No, it
we
wouldn't.
know teams don't care what fans want. I think.
Yeah,
it's
and
tough.
I don't think it would be the worst thing, man.
I think the good thing he's not coming behind Brady.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. So they might have some patience with him.
Where's the pass go, Mark? It's at 3.
I don't know, because
But
I don't know, man. I mean,
Where you think he's gonna go? So everybody think it's gonna go quarterback 1, 2, 3?
I do. I think 3 quarterbacks and 2 wide receivers.
I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best or second best talent in the draft. I just think the first 3 teams need quarterbacks.
Need quarterbacks?
Yeah, especially over a wide receiver. Now, granted, New England don't have nothing. So
I was gonna say he's gonna bet the house on it.
They would not take Daniels though. I bet now. So. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I think Arizona is gonna probably end up getting Marvin Harrison.
that was my thought.
Mm-hmm.
That was my thought.
Yeah.
Seahawks are signing Leonard Williams.
So they're re-signing him.
Re-signing it, yeah.
Re-sign, right?
Re with a dash. That's right.
Neighbors over Marvin Harrison Jr. I disagree, but
What do you say?
the name, it says like a generic YouTube name, but it said Neighbors over MHJ.
Some people got it like that, which is surprising. Some people got him. Some people got 1A, 1B. Some people got Rome up there. I don't know.
I mean, it's a deep class.
Marvin Harris is the best wide receiver in this draft.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna be the fuss about it.
Yeah. I wouldn't even hesitate. Just go on and turn the card in.
Whoever chose that picture for Brissett on Twitter, just nasty work. Man looked like a assistant principal.
Yeah, the staff student game at an intramural game.
Hey yo,
Jacoby Brissett going back to New England, huh?
All right,
That's where it started. That's where it started.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Reggie, we definitely appreciate you coming through, man. You stayed a whole hour. Definitely appreciate you, man.
Oh, I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, most
Absolutely.
definitely, man. Plug that podcast again, man. Y'all follow up on Twitter and on YouTube.
Yeah, just search us, man, at Burgundy and Gold Knuckleheads Podcast. It's the same name all across all streaming platforms, even our YouTube channel, man. So holler at us, and we're on Twitter. We're active on Twitter, actually, so you guys can follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at @2Knuckleheads. That's DA, the number 2 Knuckleheads. So just give us a shout, man. Give us a follow, and tune in, man. Have a good time with us.
All right, appreciate you, Reggie.
All right, Reggie.
All right, boys. Y'all have a good one.
All right, man. Peace.
Yep.
D'Angelo, the best bet to bulk him up like Cam Newton. Bro, what?
Welcome on that note, Steve. We're gonna bulk up Daniels like Cam Newton, man.
We're about to make Daniels Cam Newton. No, he need about like 60 more pounds. He needs to get on the Albert Haysworth diet. Let's go.
Oh man, what's up, Steve?
Hey, what's
Commanders
cracking?
Podcast. What's good,
cracking?
man?
How y'all
What's
doing,
up?
man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, most definitely, man. How you feeling, man?
Hey, you know what? I wasn't expecting much, and I'm extremely, extremely happy and satisfied for today. Today is what it feels like to have to be cleansed. You know what I mean? It's like dipping that head back in that holy water. Like I feel free. I feel like, you know, like this is how it's supposed to be. And it hasn't felt this way. I don't even know if it's ever felt this way. So it feels good.
So we're gonna get to it. Like, you got what you think about the last signing? Frankie
Luvu?
Mm-hmm.
Frankie Luvu was on my original list. My list wasn't that good. He's the only person off my list that they signed so far. But yeah, I'm a big Frankie Luvu fan for linebacker purposes. I don't know how they were going to do in the draft. There was a lot of different options to choose in the draft. But remember Peter's philosophy, he goes, we're going to build through the draft and supplement with free agency. So all these people they're picking up, they're supplements, right? They're supplements to the bigger plan, raising the standard in the words of Deuce. But right. Frankie Luvu, good pickup. I think he'll be an instant upgrade to what we had back there. I'm not sure how he's going to complement Jamin, but we shall see in that new violent defense that Joe Witt and Dan Quinn are going to run.
Yeah, and the Dorrance Armstrong, they have the breakdown of his deal. I really love it. I really love this deal.
Yeah,
If he reaches these incentives, it's a huge plus for us. Huge plus.
And cheaper than what we were going to get, Montez or Chase for as well.
Yeah.
So it's, not bargain basement, but just better value for production.
Mm-hmm.
So
most definitely. All right. So like you kind of discussed coming into free agency, what you kind of expected, what it kind of is now. But what's left? What else is on your list?
A lineman, a guard or a tackle of some sort. I had some guards picked out. Robert Hunt, Jonah from the Dolphins. He's 28. Jonah Jackson from the Lions, guard. He's 27. John Simpson. He's a Raven at 27. I also wanted the center from Buffalo, Morse, but they already signed Tyler. I can't pronounce his last name. Tyler Bia. So good at center. Hopefully they can just get a guard or tackle, and I think we'll be good on the offensive line. And I heard you guys talking, as I was leading up for the show, you guys are talking about wide receivers. I think there might be a wide receiver target out there from you guys are talking Calvin Ridley. I would be on some Calvin Ridley at the right price too.
17 million is a little steep.
Is that what his market value is?
Well, Spot Track.
Spot Track
could be exaggerated a little bit.
Yeah.
What you got, DT?
No, heard Calvin Ridley.
Oh.
Man, don't be saying, man.
Yeah. Like you got us looking at our phones.
Uh-oh like that, man. Like
y'all should be looking at your phones anyway. Y'all better play back. Get on my face, bro. Go ahead.
But I don't know about $17 million though.
So how much they got projected for Curtis Samuel? 14,
13.6.
That's 13. A little more easier to absorb.
Yeah. That's gonna be something, man. That's gonna be something.
Tyler Boyd's out there. I don't know how much he's gonna cost.
I'd be surprised about Boyd. Like, depending on what they want to do with Higgins, they're gonna lose 2 wide receivers.
Right.
2 and 3 in the same offseason. I don't know, man. Huh? T. Higgins?
Going to
him and T. Higgins? They might. Both of them might go there.
Yeah. I would just say
OC.
So
yeah.
But all these OC, all these receivers you talk about, what you got to find if you're. It needs to be someone that's going to do something different than Curtis, right? Curtis is kind of a utility guy, a Swiss Army knife. Are you looking for, because you already got, we used to call him Scott's Tots on our podcast, but our 2 wide receivers that are 6 foot, do you want a bigger guy? Do you want a 6'3", 6'4" guy going to go up and get it? Do you want a speed hitter to take the top off? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want out of that next free agent wide receiver? And that's what you got to ask yourself. I don't know what the answer to that question.
Yeah, and like we was talking about, like Curtis does something uniquely. Like everyone. Like DT gave us the 3 or 4 players that kind of that does what he does at a high level. He even showed it this year. He only has 6 carries. I didn't even realize that to the end of the year. That's just malpractice. He only has 6 carries the whole year. That's just crazy.
Part of the course.
You right. So, but he has that unique skill set that's just not everywhere. Everyone doesn't have it. And so far, haven't been told from DT or anyone about any of these college guys coming out that have that skill set. So I definitely wanted to bring Curtis back, even if we can get Calvin Ridley. But the thing about Calvin Ridley is he's just like Terry and Jahan. Like he's a great route runner. He creates a lot of separation. He can beat you deep, the big play. So it'll be having like y'all call it, like 3 6-foot dudes.
It's like the Wizards, man. They got a bunch of shooting guards. The whole team's a bunch of shooting guards, man.
Shooting guards and small forwards. The whole team.
That is it. You need to get some variation in there. And
where are you with Cam Curl? I mean, I know who you are because I watch it, but
yeah, I still think you try to find a way to get him back on the team. But at what price? I wouldn't go over 12 probably. There's some other safeties out there you could probably explore in his absence. Like I had Jeremy Chin from the Panthers, probably a little bit less, around like 10 million. But I really hope they find a way to get Curl back on the team, just because let him continue to grow. You can't pay him that elite money, but you can still probably afford to pay him a little bit.
So the 49ers, they signed Floyd about an hour ago.
Okay.
And they just signed Yetur Gross Matos from Carolina. Another edge for 2 years and 18 million. So a few of the questions went through the chat today. What do you think about Chase Young? Because it looks like, I don't know, man. It don't look like he's going back to the 49ers. So where you at with Chase Young, Steve?
Hey, so when we talked about this, I want to say maybe with like 2 games left in the regular season, his spot track value, it's kind of how everything. Spot track value is now the new PFF for free agency, but take it for what it's worth. His market value was right below Montez Sweat's. It was like 20, 22, 23, but now I think it's even dropped even further down to like 15. I have not looked in like 2 weeks, but I think it's like 15. Don't quote me on that. 16, 17. So, I would love to have him back, but also at what price? That's the question is at what price?
He's gonna have a prove it deal. Like he's gonna be like a 1 year, $8 million prove it deal or something like that.
You got Dorrance Armstrong. He put in 7.5 sacks last year. He knows the defense.
He's at 1 year, 13 million.
1 year, that ain't that bad. I'd be open
they
to
might try to work it. All right, so some of our let's get to Fuller. You did Curl, you did Curtis. How you feeling about Fuller?
I'm good on Fuller. I'm a Virginia Tech guy. I love Kendall Fuller, but I just think he's 30. He's on the wrong side of 30. He just turned 30, but I don't think he's going to be worth what he's going to be.
We get no Tyron Smith.
Valued what he thinks he might be valued. So I think we're good to pass on Fuller, in my opinion.
We're looking at the wrong tweets, man. The wrong notifications.
Yeah, you might. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
All right, so Juan wanted to know how you feel about Ekeler.
Hey, I love it. He's an upgrade over. I think he's an upgrade over Gibson for essentially 2 years, 11 million. It looked like it was like 5 guaranteed, so it's almost like a 1 year deal. He's a third down back. He's not RB1, so as a change of pace back and as a third down back, why not? The dude can play. I think he's got plenty of ball left in him as well. So yeah, I'm all for it. Ekeler was a great signing.
Yeah, I definitely like the Ekeler signing. I just saw something on here. Reggie said Chase going to play for an incentive lady. Yeah, that might be what it is. It might be 9 up to 13. So that's definitely going to be something to follow. Yeah, they lied to you, Tim. Sorry, buddy.
What Tim was on something?
He said we just signed Tyron Smith.
I
don't know what he was looking at.
33 years old.
Yeah, that's where we going next, Steve. Like, what's next? Like, what else? Like, coming into free agency, you kind of talked about what you expected. You're happy about what's happened, but what's next? What else do we need to add?
Like I said, a lineman of some sort. You got a center, but if you can get a guard or a tackle, I think you got to try to find one of those. I think if Cam's going to walk, you could probably look at finding a safety out there. We already got our linebacker in Luvu, and I was really eyeing AJ Epinesa at that edge position before they talked about Dorrance Armstrong. So you got one edge. So you got some pieces on the defense. So I think you need to focus, like I said, offensive lineman and maybe one of those receivers. I think that would be optimal, offensive lineman and a receiver if you can get them.
So far we've spent $66 million based off the projected signing.
66 million, and you still got a pocket. Well, what's the going rate for your rookies? It used to be like a floating number. I can't remember it now. Got to have like what? 15
for us. It was like 15 and a half
in reserve. Okay, so 66 and 15. You got.
But I don't know if Warren already calculated that. Sometimes they do.
Yeah,
sometimes
I think they like the rookie cap. The rookies are
Pittsburgh 1.2 million.
Yeah, they got Russ on that vet minimum.
Cowboys, they got nothing.
Yeah, D'Angelo.
Yeah, where you been at? Yeah, D'Angelo. We got a few people.
Not to be the Cowmanders, right? Isn't that what they say when they call us?
I think that's it, man. We got 2 of
them.
We got
I also
coaches.
Stephon Gilmore might be the last one you could possibly consider as like a cornerback 4.
I think more so
cornerback 3.
I think J-Ron Curse.
Yeah,
especially if we don't bring back Curl. I think he may be one. But hopefully not, man. Hopefully not. All right. So what else you like, Steve?
I don't like any of the. I'm not the only one tackle that I don't. It's in the free agent market. Someone put in the comments is. I mean, I think Leno's going to retire. I'm not in on Tyron Smith. You could consider David Bakhtiari from his. He played a lot of good games in Green Bay, but he's going to be 33 before the year starts. He's also going to warrant a lot of money. So I'm pretty sure the draft is deep with left tackle. So I'd stay away from probably any of the free agent left tackles here and for the remainder of the free agency.
I think I have one guy. Let me look at my top 17 list.
There's what's another dude? Cornelius, but I don't know how you feel about Cornelius. Dwayne Brown and one more from
Josh Jones. That's the guy that I got on my list. He's the last guy I looked at on my list.
As a tackle?
No. That's the wrong one. No. Hold on. John Simpson. Oh, is John Simpson a guard?
John Simpson's a guard.
Yeah,
he's on the Ravens. He was on my list too. Yes.
Yeah, the Ravens. Yeah,
yes. He's 27. It's like the perfect age going to that second contract.
I only had one tackle on my list, and he's gone. So it's been good to see. I mean, I think it kind of depends. I wonder what they're going to do with Wiley, if they're going to, move him guard back up. What are they going to do with Stromberg? Are they going to move him to guard? Is they going to try him at left guard? Then that creates a hole at backup center. So I wonder, man, like they might attack, the draft with some tackle and interior line.
Dude, Ron spent 4 years trying to find one player that can play 5 positions. Like they just need to find one player who's good at one position and let's go. Like that position flex is like done. That is done.
Oh, man, please don't say that again.
Just find it. I used to say DT. DT used to be triggered with that word, so that's why I brought it up. Just find. Yeah, I'm done with that. Just let's go find someone who's good at a job and just keep going.
All right, where are you with the quarterbacks?
With the quarterbacks, my heart wants Drake May. My brain, which is what I would bet with, says Jaden Daniels. That's what I would go with. I just think one of the best abilities of a young quarterback learning the system is mobility, and that's Jaden, man. That's it. I just need him to gain about 15 pounds, come in at like 225, and then be ready to rock. If he's really 210, like some of the numbers I've seen, that might be kind of pushing it.
Oh man.
I mean, Lamar was what, 197?
Lamar was skinny when he came out.
He was. So there's hope, but Lamar was also a smarter runner than Jaden. If you've seen the lowlights of his running, you can't get away with that in the NFL. You just cannot.
Yeah. Cameron, thank you for tuning in. This might be your first time. I'm not sure. And Scott Brooks, appreciate y'all. But no, I'm good off Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham's probably going to be a summertime signing, probably.
Odell's definitely going to wait.
16 million last year. He ain't getting nothing.
He's older. He feels he can still play. He's going to probably sign somewhere that's familiar in some capacity to him, and where he don't have to go through training camp.
Yeah. Probably somewhere where they like plug and play. I'm ready to go win this thing, like Baltimore kind of was last year, for sure.
Yeah.
It says B grade on free agency. What's your grade so far, Steve?
So far, I'd give it a solid. I'd say, man, right in between a B and a B plus, man, whatever you want to call that.
DT, what's in between a B and a B plus?
B plus minus. I don't know. 3.2. I don't know how you want to look at it, but I'm extremely happy. It's definitely not B plus, but I'm good, man. I'm good. The bat signal was, you put the bat signal up, Deuce, and he responded. Bruce Wayne did it on day one, so happy.
Yeah, man. I like it. I like the sign. I like all of the signings. And especially when you talk about the contracts for him. The way the contracts, like I don't know if Rodgers is doing that. I don't know if Shen is, like I don't know who's the guy doing it. I don't know if Mayhew is strictly doing that. I guess we'll find out soon. But whoever's doing these contracts is doing really well, especially that I keep talking about the Dorrance Armstrong contract and the way those incentives. Like if he's able to get that extra 12 million off those incentives, like he's playing crazy.
Yeah.
To be able to, and that's the same thing with those other guys. So the way that they are kind of working these contracts is good. I like it. I really like it.
And I think you got to reserve, the true grades till we see the truth behind all those contracts. Like we have the reports, but I think the true grades will come, like you said, once we see the terms and how they're laid out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What you got, DT?
I don't have anything.
He's thinking about the Atlanta Falcons owe Washington credit to their quarterback room. That's what he's saying.
So what you think about the Kirk thing, man? Like this is like hour 3 and
hour 3.
Stretching going on here.
Hey, he's got a great agent. He is committing highway robbery everywhere he goes. I ain't gonna hate the man for it. I don't understand it, but because the whole time it was Fields to Atlanta. That's what we was hearing. Fields to Atlanta. And I'm starting to think now Fields ain't going nowhere. I just don't. I don't understand. So I'm happy for Kirk in Atlanta with Taylor backing him up. I think there was an argument today I was reading. They say he has more talent in Atlanta overall than he had in Minnesota. I don't know if I buy that, but they're a pretty well balanced team.
Yeah.
On offense anyways. So we'll see. It's an easier conference for him to win. I'll put it that way. He shouldn't have a lot of.
On the Justin Fields front, like what are, as it currently stands, what are his other options right now? Maybe Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
They just picked up Minshew, so it's Minshew and O'Connell right now.
I forgot they got Minshew.
But they're both backup quarterbacks, so who knows?
Yeah, but I think most people would imagine that Gardner Minshew could probably beat Justin Fields right now.
Right.
Based on what they've been in the past. I think Justin Fields is another guy that is a lot more talented than his production will lead you to believe, but again, he has to actually do it. So Vegas with an asterisk. Where else? Minnesota, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at all the teams in the new quarterbacks, you have us, New England, Giants, but they got DJ, Tennessee, Atlanta. Jets got Aaron Rodgers coming back. They could put him behind Aaron Rodgers. Minnesota, they could swap spots.
For a trade, Atlanta just made the most sense.
It did.
And not only did they go get signed Kirk Cousins, but they guaranteed him $90 million.
Oh, man.
Like, Justin Fields is not going to Atlanta. So, I don't like his options. Well, Chicago's options are vastly drying up.
Right.
Like he's losing market value like by the minute.
Yeah. We also thought Pittsburgh was another option, and they got the Russ on the 1-year deal. So you're right. But he's like the options are disappearing for that man.
Like
I don't know.
I mean, go ahead, Deuce.
I'm not sure about it's just a Fields thing. I think Ryan Poles, he was hustling backwards, man. I don't know if he calculated this well. I mean, maybe maybe all along was to keep Justin and trade the first pick. All right, well, we'll see. But I just don't see it. I mean, people tell me he's the best prospect in the last 50 years. And you gonna pass that up for Justin Fields? I don't know, man.
I
don't know.
DT, you're a Buckeye fan. So how do you feel about Fields, man, and what he's going through? The situation.
I think Justin was drafted to a bad situation.
Oh, yeah.
Basically a lame duck season with can't even think Matt Nagy. So he kind of had to deal with some of the things like that. But there are also some things Justin didn't get a chance to do at Ohio State due to COVID. He didn't get a chance to play a full season under his belt, try to hone his skills, and you kind of saw some of the flaws his 2020 season. So I think the best thing right now, I do agree with Deuce, I think they completely overplayed their hand. I think the best bet right now, he might have to be a backup, y'all.
For 1 year?
He might be a backup for probably one of these teams that have a great system with multiple quarterbacks, try to, hone his skills.
Rams, man.
The
Rams would be a good
Colts
spot.
Don't have a backup right now. Shane
Yeah.
Steichen with Jalen Hurts, and he got Anthony Richardson. Richardson deal has been injury so far his first year, and
I could see the Rams for like a fifth.
Stafford's on his way out.
Something like
And DT, you make a good point. Like you could, for what Fields costs, right? If you got to get that fifth year option by what, May? I forget the date. May 4th, May 5th.
Yeah, somewhere third.
It would be cheaper than what you can get a market backup quarterback for in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you pay $6 million, whatever that is, $8 million. I don't know what it is, $6, $7, $8 million. So why not take the gamble? Get him cheap for year 4. Get him for like, you know, 6, 7, 8 million year 5, and you got 2 years to play with him. That's just, I don't know why the logic. It makes too much sense to not pick him up somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Poles really wants a second. Maybe that's what the holdup is. But
third or fourth,
if he's going to draft Cable and get stuck with Justin Fields, he might get fired.
Yeah, but at some point you got to look at team dynamics. I know,
Exactly.
I know it could cause some disruption to your young quarterback. You want him to have the world, right? Like DT was saying earlier, you get a guy that early, man, his ass is starting. Straight up.
And no, like I don't want Justin Fields. I want our own quarterback.
Yeah.
I want our own quarterback. I don't want Justin Fields at all, man. How you feel about the coaching staff, Steve? Before we let you go, or you can stay, Staves. It's up to you. But
no, I'll punch out.
Okay. How you feel about the coach? Like the other day, I was like, man, I forgot we got Ken Norton and Daryl Tapp. Like I literally forgot that we had those guys.
Yeah, it's been once again a nice, pleasant surprise when you take a step back. You're like, oh man, we have a very like well dressed coaching staff. Like it's balanced. It's a mixture of experience. It's a mixture of players. We got the Seattle Seahawks special teams coordinator and Larry Izzo. No one's talking about Larry Izzo. That special teams unit in Seattle was top notch for years. And we got him. Like you said, Daryl Tapp, Anthony Lynn was probably a huge piece in getting Austin Ekeler. Like all these people, we have like 4 or 5 head coaching people with head coaching experience. David Blau, guy just recently came out of the league, to be our assistant quarterback coach behind Tavita Pritchard. Like the coaching staff to me is extremely, extremely exciting. I have no qualms with the coaching staff right now whatsoever. I'm happy to see it. I'm kind of glad they kept Ryan Kerrigan, Ken Norton Jr. as our linebackers coach. Like, come on, like,
Tapp, Anthony Lynn. It's like you forget the good coaches that you had, and I like the fact that all those guys are different. Like they come from different places. We talked about the experience that they have, the accomplishments that they have, playing in the league, coaching in the league. Generations, within their families been in the league, like all different types of stuff. And when you hear Whit and Cliff say, hey, look, what you saw me do or what you know of me doing, that's not going to be what we do. Like there's going to be a commander's defense or commander's offense. Right. If they're really able to put all of this together and like have a commander's playbook, I am really excited about that. This is probably like the first time something like this has happened.
It's a new era. We kind of we fell for it hook, line, and sinker with the rebrand, which tricked us into thinking, oh, we starting over. But really, it was just the same kind of thing going along the way. We didn't know any better. I mean, this is truly a, recalibration. Is that what they're calling it, right? Not a rebuild, but a recalibration. So it's exciting to say the least, man. I think it's going to be even better moving forward.
I definitely think, but we know it's the honeymoon period, right? So
it sure is, man.
I'm sure maybe free agency, some people, didn't want this person, they didn't want, but that's, when these things come up, this is when Quinn needs to make his money, right? If you want to be a CEO, then you have to be a CEO. You have to make sure everyone, by the time y'all leave that room, everybody should be on one accord, even if they got their way or not. They should understand it's one goal and be okay and not start all the bickering and all that. So that's the con of having so much talent and so much experience, but people have done your job before. That's the con of that those type of things can kind of creep up when things start going wrong. So we hope we hope that doesn't happen for sure.
Yep, that's true. I see what Scout said about Fields, 25, 30 million. I didn't think it was that high, man.
Yeah, and that's
did he have some Pro Bowls on his? I know there's incentives that make it go higher.
Yeah, so it's three tiers, Scout. So check that. It's 3 tiers. I know that for. I don't think did he get Rookie of the Year? No, I don't think so.
No, I'm trying to see
he got a Pro Bowl.
Spot Track has it at 25.6, but it says average cash value 8.9. So I don't know what the discrepancy is there.
Yeah, I don't think they do the tiers though.
If that's the case, if it's 25.6, I can see why no one's picked him up for 2025. But you got him for 3.2 this year. That's a steal, at least for this year. So.
Yeah, so we definitely got to see. All right, plug the podcast, command this podcast. Oh, I'll let you do.
Yeah, all good, man. Yeah, we're out there. Command this podcast. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook. We have a live stream every Monday and Thursday during the year. Thursday's in the off season right now, 8:30 p.m. But yeah, command_this on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're out there everywhere, man. Just like everybody else said, we're active, kicking in with the content creator crew, man. Love my boys. We're a close knit family, so thank you for having me. And you had the taste of Dev last week, and you're about to get some of Phil here pretty soon. So the party never stops with us.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
Chase Edmonds on a 1-year deal to Tampa Bay, and Otto Porter has retired from the NBA.
Otto Porter Jr. retired from the NBA. Okay. Yeah, he left with us. Wizards went to Chicago. I don't even know where he went after that. I lost track of him.
Yeah, he's in Denver, I think. I just saw Utah.
Another shooting guard that they picked.
I do have an update on Sam Darnold. So apparently Sam Darnold's down to two choices. It's either the Broncos or the Vikings. And talks about Jameis Winston possibly being the backup for Cleveland.
Oh, man.
Well, they just gonna get rid of Flacco, or they gonna just wait? Put Flacco.
He was just there for the rest of the season.
But
you still got DTR on the team, right? I think DTR is still on the team. I thought he showed some promise, but who knows, man? Who knows? Flacco came from his couch, almost took the team to the playoffs. Didn't he get comeback player of the year? Didn't he get comeback player of the year? If I'm not mistaken.
Yep, he did. He was upset about it.
Yeah, usually that's reserved for dudes with injuries, but no, he didn't get it. Didn't it didn't go to Bill's
DeMar Hamlin? Mm-mm.
No? Okay, I think that's what the issue was. I try to phase it out, but
yeah. All right, appreciate you, Steve.
Yeah, fellas, it was fun, man. I'll catch you guys on the flip, man. It's only day one.
Day one.
Much more to come.
Appreciate you, man.
Peace, fellas.
We got 1 hour, DT. Breeze already rolled out.
800 people in here. This is record.
Breeze ain't put a leave slip in. He ain't come to the principal office. He ain't do nothing. He just left right out. I don't know what happened to Ceelo. Ceelo probably about to come now. Who knows? Ceelo
in Vegas trying to figure out what the Raiders
in Sin City. Trying to get a trade for Fields. Let's bring in Phil Credible.
Let me tell you something. It's day one. I'm excited. We got a real inside linebacker. We got a running back that I honestly did not think we would go after. And another severely mid wing player that the Wizards drafted retired. I mean, it's been an incredible day.
That's nasty. Oh man, let's get right into the day. Like Ekeler, right? I mean, it was some rumors last off season about Ekeler. Free agent. I think he was released. They released him, right? Yeah, I think he was released. So what do you like about the deal? I think ultimately, it was a 2-year, 12.3, but it was like ultimately it's like a 1-year, 5-year deal, something like that. But how do you like this deal?
I like it because we're paying the right price for him. That's right. Juan knows. Juan Carlos knows.
I love it.
But we paid the right price for him. It was 2 years up to was it 11.3, 12.3. I've seen a couple numbers thrown around. But it's not a terrible deal at all. The numbers, there's a lot of incentives built in and all that. So, unless he breaks out, I can't sit here and say, oh, yeah, no, $12 million for a backup running back, because that's what a lot of people think he's going to be. Some people think he's going to be a backup. Other people are saying he's RB1. I'm the one who's been saying that whatever we do, it's going to be running back by committee.
Exactly.
You know, you're going to have one back's going to have 850 yards. Another one's going to have 700 yards. Chris Rodriguez is going to get 300 or 400 yards. Like, it'll build up to a pretty effective running attack if Cliff Kingsbury isn't lying about not running the air raid offense. But, I mean, if you're going to commit to a running game and you're not bringing back Antonio Gibson, bring in a guy who can do all the things Gibson does.
Mm-hmm.
Ekeler's that dude. I mean, he's a pass-catching back. You got Brian Robinson, who's developed into a back who can catch passes. So right there, no matter what down it is, no matter which one of those guys is in the game, whoever our quarterback is, you got a running back that can catch the ball at the backfield. And, you know, what's going to help if we draft a quarterback, which it looks like it is, what we're going to do, you have a tight end and you have a running back. Those are your two best friends. You get in panic pressure, dump it off.
And where are you? Okay, so let's just say we draft the quarterback at 2, and we're going to come back to the quarterback because I know how you feel about the quarterbacks, but everyone else doesn't. And of course, tackle, right? If we don't tackle, it's probably going to be one of the two. What's next? Like, what's more important? Is it? I mean, we have a linebacker, but we need another one, right? Linebacker. I mean, even edge. We need another edge. Linebacker, edge, tight end, or safety. Which one of those are you going with? That one of those picks in the second round.
Well, one of those picks. One of the things I'm mad about is that Chop Robinson looked so good at the combine. Because every mock draft I was picking him in the second round. And honestly, my drafts were pretty much, you know, Chop Robinson, the last left tackle that was on the board worthwhile, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head now. Damn. Kid from Auburn. I was drafting him, and that's what I was doing with those 2 second-round picks. You know, I was, you know, getting the last quality left tackle left and Chop Robinson. And then the third round, I'd pick up, you know, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I figured, you know, that solves a lot of problems right there. And those are all guys you could bring in and start. It's weird because the positions we have of need are going to go early in the draft. That kind of sucks. But there are positions where we have we definitely could do some wants. We could definitely step up that you can, you know, move forward with and bring in as a starter. The kid, Deza Isaac from Penn State's another one. Penn State, you know, between Chop and Deza Isaac, they have 2 of the better edge defenders in the draft. You can go with either one. And I see D'Angelo is ranting in the comments about Chop being overrated. And he's a Penn State fan. I'm a Penn State fan. I don't think Chop's overrated. I think he's getting the hype train behind him, and that's always scary. But, you know,
what do you want, a 4.49, something like that?
He ran. It was like it was 4.46.
Yeah,
it was like it was tied for second fastest or it was third fastest of all defensive ends.
That's definitely gonna get you a hype train for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Isaac's not bad either. You can go with either one in those day 2 picks, and you're getting a quality defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay.
I'm excited. I'm excited just off the fact that we made moves. We made moves before most people were making moves with Zach Ertz. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you Zach Ertz is going to be, you know, 2017 Zach Ertz.
Yeah,
I just want him to know the offense, know the route concepts, stay healthy, and whether we got Jaden or Caleb or Drake at quarterback or Sam or JJ or Bo or whoever, Just go run your 8-yard route over the middle, catch the ball, first down. Please. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, I really don't, man. I would be disappointed if he gets more than 200 receiving yards, plays more than 13 games. I would. Like, I'm not, I don't want him to be tight end 102. If he starts off tight end 2, I mean, you still got Bates, which is like tight end 2, 3, the running guy or whatever. That's cool. But the further we get in the season, the less of Zach Ertz I want to see. And that's because I hopefully that we draft a tight end. I really think we can get some of these guys that can do both, because we need somebody that can get jiggy with it within the first 5 yards. Like, we need somebody that can create separation within the first 5 yards. So, and I don't know what Cole Turner is. Amani Rogers had 3 plays a couple years ago, and everyone thinks he's the Luke Kelsey.
Cole Turner is the great what if.
Yeah.
God, if Taylor Heineke hadn't gotten him hurt, he has not been the same since.
Yeah.
He was starting to show some of that potential, and then Heineke overthrows him for no reason, and he ends up banging his head on the way down. Ain't been right since.
That guy, man.
But hey, by the way, Atlanta, you're welcome for your QB room.
Yep. How you feel about that deal, Steve? I mean, Phil.
I'm about to say, did I miss something? About which one, Kirk?
Okay. Yep, Kirk. I'll be right by, DT.
I don't know if there's anybody in the NFL who has done a better job of maximizing their potential as far as money goes than Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins knows how to get paid. And I don't know. I have a soft spot for Kirk. Would I have wanted him back? Not with this team, not with a rebuild. If we were closer to that next level, yeah, but not now. But I mean, Kirk Cousins, more power to Atlanta. They think they're close to taking that next step. They need a quarterback. Desmond Ridder ain't it. Taylor Heineke.
Falcons fans I know are pissed though.
Yeah, they didn't want him. They wanted Fields.
Falcons fans are pissed.
I know why though, because they still have the legacy of Mike Vick, so they want another Mike Vick. They want that super mobile, suntan Superman at quarterback.
Not just that, but Justin Fields is from Atlanta too. I think that's
oh, is he? See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's from Atlanta. I think that's another part of it, like having a hometown kid back. But
it may be because I'm old relative to a lot of people. I just don't pay attention to where people are from. I just pay attention to like, what college you come from. And that used to actually give you a hint back in the day. It doesn't now. Caleb Williams, when I found out Caleb Williams was from DC, I was like, what? Why is he USC? It's just one of those things where it's like, why didn't anybody on the East Coast pick this guy up?
Yeah.
But it's USC, I get it.
Well, he was following nigga around. He went to Oklahoma first and all of that. But
true, but it's still Oklahoma.
Yeah.
If you're Maryland, Penn State, any of the SEC teams, how would you miss out on recruiting Caleb Williams?
Oh, they tried.
I'm sure they tried, but
it wasn't for lack of trying.
I don't know. I guess it's just back in the day, like guys stayed a little more regional. Now it's hard, so I don't even care. Like I said, I didn't know Justin Fields was from Atlanta. Didn't know, didn't care. Doesn't matter. What are you doing for us in DC at this point in my life?
I'm with you.
So do you think Kirk Cousins boosts that team to win in the South next year, or you think they're still going to be the same?
Well, the South is tank division. I think teams actively try to lose that division. So I think he can. They're easily. They become the favorites, right? Yes, I know Baker Mayfield just got the bag too. By the way, shout out to Baker Mayfield. People really wrote him off, and he just went and got himself $100 million over 3 years. So good for him. I like seeing that because the Baker Mayfield story. It feels like we're doing the same thing. The same thing's going to happen with Sam Howell, but a lot faster. Instead of taking a couple seasons, it happened in one season when people went from, oh, this guy could be great to horrible, and then he's going to go somewhere else and reinvent himself and get himself $100 million probably. That's how that's my prediction with Sam Howell. It won't be here, but it'll be somewhere.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, Atlanta was close to actually making the playoffs this past season for a while. They were in the playoff hunt and it fell off at the end. I just got this feeling that Kirk Cousins he can make those passes to, two guys. Kyle Pitts is going to eat with Kirk Cousins throwing him the ball.
Yeah, for sure.
We all know Kirk loves his tight end. TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Reed, Vernon Davis. They all did things with Kirk at quarterback. So, I don't know. I mean, am I going to say Atlanta's going to be a Super Bowl contender? No. But are they a playoff team? Sure. They were close to it this past season.
Yeah, I think all is up there.
Right now, the signing I am most hyped about is Luvu. Is it Luvu?
Yeah.
I'm horrible at pronouncing names, which sucks because mine is unpronounceable. But anyway, Luvu is. I was watching tape on him before free agency. I was looking at the linebackers and so forth, and I was like, "Oh man, man, this dude's like a true inside guy. Like he pushes plays to the outside. He slices through gaps in the line. He knows how to shoot the gap. He knows how to make these kinds of plays. And he's a sure tackler. And he's got quick feet. I like that in an inside linebacker. I like somebody who can create just enough space. Get in there. So yeah, Frankie Luvu, I am a fan. And that's a dude who has gotten better every year he's been in the league.
Yeah.
So that's the guy right now I'm most hyped about. Because I think he's going to free up Jamin Davis to do Jamin Davis things.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Is there a signing that you would still want on this team, even though it's day one? It's like, like another offensive lineman or linebacker. What are you thinking right now?
Yeah, you have to forgive me because, man, I got so many news alerts off of while I was at work. Who was the kid from the Bengals? The lineman?
Oh, lineman.
Oh, Jonah Jackson. No.
He used to be there.
Yeah, he used to be there.
Jonah Williams.
Yeah.
No. Oh, God, is it?
I thought it was Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, Williams. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull it up. And this, man, see, when you don't know names, you can't come up with shit here.
Yeah, I think it's Williams.
Trayvon Williams? No.
I think it's Jay Williams, ain't it?
Is he a running back or a tackle?
No, I'm talking about lineman.
Yeah, Jonah Williams.
Yeah, it is Jonah Williams. It's Jonah Williams. You're right. That's the guy I want us to target. I think because he can play both. He can play inside and out.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have him on playing guard opposite of Sam Cosmi, but Jonah Williams is one I'm looking at. I'm looking at trying to rebuild this roster with the younger free agents. I know a lot of people are saying that they want us to go big on left tackle, and I'm like, there's just not many out there. You cut two of the 5 offensive tackles worth anything came from us, and we don't want them back. We got rid of these guys for a reason, and it's like, why? You're talking about, oh, that's my favorite ones. Oh, we'll just draft. We'll just sign another one in free agency. And I'm like, all right, you do realize that Tyron Smith is 33 years old. All right.
Yeah.
Cornelius Lucas and Charles Leno, y'all ran them out of here. Who we going with? The dude Bakhtiari from Green Bay is a free agent, but he's going to cost you some money.
And he only played 15 games in 4 years, something like that.
Something like that. Because in his salary last year was $23 million. Talk about
if
people
you
who
go
got
to the
paid.
Jets, that's probably where you're going to go.
Let
He's going to
him
get
go.
some money.
Let him go. I don't know. That's why it kind of sucks that we have to go quarterback in this draft if we're going, to make that big splash and kind of rebuild. The other guy, I was kind of looking at Jonah Williams. Andres Pete is another one that I was looking at as far as lineman because he can play guard and tackle, but you need both tackles fixed because I'll be damned if I ever see Andrew Wiley on the field ever again.
So David Bakhtiari has played in 13 games in the last three seasons.
That's insane. And
he is probably your number one guy right now at left tackle. That tells you where things are at that position. Because you got Bakhtiari, Tyron Smith, Cornelius Lucas, Charles Leno, and Dwayne Brown, who is old enough to collect his 401k.
He's like 40, ain't he?
He's
41, 42.
Something like that. So,
man. So where are you with the quarterbacks, Phil?
Well, all right. I'm one of those people that believes that Sam kind of got a raw deal this past season. You don't want a rookie quarterback throwing the ball that much in the first half of any games. I feel like they try to trial by fire him, and I've never seen that really work with a rookie quarterback. And I treat Sam as a rookie because it's his second year. He's played one game, and this is really the first serious reps he got in any offseason. But as much as I like Sam, I like his intangibles, I like his arm strength, I also understand new coach, new head coach, new offensive coordinator, whole new front office. Forget it. You're getting a quarterback. I personally would like to find some way of Caleb Williams falling to us at 2. I still haven't decided whether or not I want to go Drake May or Jaden Daniels if we pick a quarterback at 2. I know a lot of people like Jaden. I like certain things about Jaden. I don't like the fact that Jaden will pass up an open receiver to run. That's like a big thing with me. And he has that RG3 thing where he doesn't see defenders coming at him from the side sometimes or sometimes in front of him, and he takes unnecessary hits. And I think that in the NFL, unless he puts on some serious weight, he's going to get hurt. And I don't, unless a coach really can work with him on not taking those risks when he runs. But RG3 used to have that. RG3 was fast as hell. Had no lateral vision. Had no field vision when he was running. That's why you never saw him make those jukes like Lamar does. So that's my problem with Jaden Daniels. I do think Jaden Daniels is more athletic than Drake May. And I've seen Drake May make some of the strange decisions at times, but I've also seen him make some great plays. So it's hard to say which way I'd want to go. But if somehow the Bears just say, you know what, we don't want to deal with Caleb doesn't want to come here, or we're going to ride with Fields, we'll get Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 1, whatever they decide to do. If it can get Caleb Williams to us at 2, that would be my perfect situation, period. Or you can trade back, because the guy I really would like to get if we don't draft a quarterback at 2 is I'd like to somehow sneak to the bottom of the first round and get us Michael Penix. I don't care about his knee injuries. That dude can throw the ball. He's got
You don't drop the Penix. We're Deuce it. Master P.
I was joking around on our pile on Thursday. I said I was listening to Michael Penix talk, and I was like, I was ready for him to start just to pull out the Glock and start blasting on people the way he was talking at that press conference. Like, that dude sounds like he's got some gangster in it.
Yo.
It's true. Listen to Penix talk. You listen like all these kids, all these other kids at the combine. You know, they got the college prep thing going on. Like Caleb Williams is up there. You know, Caleb Williams' family came from some money. Like, you know what I mean? And Penix comes out there, and it's like, I'm like, damn, dude, I gotta keep my girl away from you because you're gonna talk slick to her. Like in a way that I'm gonna have to punch you. Don't do that. I like that though. I like Penix. I just thought it was funny because like he just stands out when you listen to Caleb, you listen to Jaden, you listen to Drake May, and then you listen to Penix, and I'm just like, oh, all right, it's about time. Penix, I'm telling you, Penix would have the best post-game press conferences out of anybody in this draft. That's just my opinion on that. But I know a lot of people are worried about his knees, but I don't think that's going to be too much.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie though, man. I think wherever he goes, to me, I feel like he's going to Seattle. I think Seattle is just a perfect spot for him to sit there, come in.
I agree.
And just
they already committed to Geno. Why not? You know, let him sit behind Geno, test out those knees, get a year, another year away from those surgeries and all that, and see what happens. I like him. I think he's going to be a sneaky good quarterback in this league.
Only thing with Penix though is because of his age. I know he's not like super old, but because of his age, you don't really want him sitting for too long.
Nah, that's true.
Especially if you don't get him in the first round. Yeah, 1 year he's fine because like I said, if he's a first round pick, then you had that 5th year option where you do get him for essentially you get him for an extra year. But with his age, you don't want to put him in a situation where, because like you just said, they just committed to Geno, so you don't want to put him in a situation where he's sitting behind a pretty decent quarterback for another. What's good with you? For another 2-3 seasons. Not that they haven't sit for 3 years, but you don't want him sitting you don't want him to get the Jordan Love treatment. He's just sitting for too long.
No, I agree with that. And the thing is, though, is that like I got this weird feeling that somehow we're going to end up with walking into this season with J.J. McCarthy as our starting quarterback, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Somebody go burn some saves. Ceelo, DT, one of y'all go burn some saves real quick, man.
Hey, look,
I don't know. I don't know much about JJ. I wasn't impressed by what I saw, but he didn't have to do much in Michigan. So everybody tells me he can do all these magical things. I'm like, well, I haven't seen it.
So JJ is talented, but the offense he was coming from was very simple.
Yeah.
Run the football, play action, and you're not going to throw the ball consistently 30 times a game. So I think for him, the intrigue of the volume that he has the arm talent. He has the mobility, those traits. He had, and someone said, I think he has that little bit of a clutch gene, like he's a playmaker. He gives me Brock Purdy vibes in a sense, but raw. And I think that's what's going to be intriguing to these NFL scouts and stuff. And I ain't going to lie to y'all, man. Peters came from the 49ers, yo. He was in that same room where they drafted Brock Purdy. So,
yeah, you can't – you can get away with that in the 7th. In the 1st, though, I
think he's going to be a first rounder, but
I think he's going to be a late first rounder. I think he's going to be a late first round just because he's another one who he went to the combine and hype train took off. Like, I don't know. And then you see like a random rating where it's like they'll have like Drake May as the 6th quarterback in the draft. I'm like, what?
I see things.
Yeah, D'Angelo down here. He knows his Big Ten. He's a Penn State fan. You can't not.
Our running game was trash when CJ was there. We struggled a lot in the offensive line. But yeah, man. So and Ceelo can say the same thing. He'll have a first round pick.
I don't see it either, but
What's he got? JJ?
I mean,
yeah.
I think he's gonna go in the first round,
going?
but I don't think he's worth the first round pick.
Oh damn. He'll go in the first round, but I wouldn't put. To me, he's a second round quarterback. NFL needs to put more quarterbacks need to be drafted in the second round. Too many quarterbacks you put in the first round because they're quarterbacks. It's my opinion. Lot of reaches at that position, and 2021 is a perfect example of that.
We talked about that earlier. Like it's really hard to project what these guys are going to do from college to the NFL. Like you have to find like the traits. You have to find the nuances, stuff they do that is translatable. But a lot of times it's hard to find some of that stuff translatable based on playing college football and stuff. You're not really playing the NFL game, not playing certain things, not under center as much. So that stuff is hard to project what these types of guys are going to be. But I don't know, man. This about to be one of those drafts where you're like, okay, whoever we draft, half of the fan base is not going to be with it.
Hey, what's up, Breeze?
No, I mean, there's no consensus. It's not like Chase Young. You know what I mean? Chase Young, we knew that he was going to go number 2, and there was no question about it. I will say that if we draft a quarterback, we got to get a good left tackle. I want that kid protected. Unless you're going to go with Penix, unless you're going to go in with Penix as your starter, you need a right tackle. I want that blind side protected, for sure. God, I'm trying to figure out who the hell is this kid that I was looking at drafted in the second round. I can't remember.
Has Tyron Smith found got signed yet?
Nah.
Man, like
Jordan Morgan. That's what I'm thinking of. Arizona and Auburn. Jordan Morgan.
Oh, Jordan Morgan
is a guy I couldn't think of. I just looked him up. I was like, who is it? That's Jordan.
He's more of a guard, though, ain't he?
No, he's a left tackle. He played left tackle all through college.
Jordan Morgan. I want to say Morgan, but it's more.
Yeah, he's playing tackle in college, but from what Big Doug was telling us in the chat, a lot of people have came out from like Senior Bowl stuff saying like he might be a guard based on like his arm length and stuff. But we'll see. Because
I think some of that. I do think that some of that is a little overrated. Like, his arms aren't long enough. They're half an inch too short. Stuff like that. I'm like, well, if his technique makes up for it, why not?
Why not, right?
Yeah, that's fair. And I think Troy Furtado from Washington, they said the same thing, but I think he's going to play tackle in the NFL.
You know the thing that be getting me, man, with these contractors. You know how when they buy the materials, they be trying to buy like new screwdrivers and new saws and new all that stuff. I'm like, bro, if I'm paying for all this, I need my saw. Like I need that screwdriver you pay for, because if I'm, you know what I'm saying, you ain't gonna make $900 on my screwdriver. Oh man.